Just read the manga. Read the manga this, read the manga that. You think I have time to read the manga, chat? I don't. I leave my anime playing on the second monitor while I do work. That's what I do. That's what I do. It's like One Piece level of filler. And that's crazy because it's a lot shorter than One Piece is. It's like how much of the percentage of the show is filler if it's like One Piece level of filler? Yeah, well, the hits are hits. Manga has no filler. That's what they want you to think. Anyway, wait, also I think I closed the tab that I want to have open. Not this one. This one. Was it this one? No, it was one before this. It's this one.
I think that.
Wait, is it this one? No, it is on this one. Okay. It's this part, I think.
And there's a scene in it when he's got a Free Palestine scarf on and he's holding a sword with a swastika hilt.
Well, I've been informed repeatedly that.
Okay, wait, okay. Who's breaking, like, who's, like, busting out laughing back there?
A hilt.
Well, I've been informed.
Okay, no, they definitely covered this at another part. Was it this one?
I think that.
They definitely talked about it here in this episode. Was it near the end? Hey, it's me. I don't know.
Repeatedly that it's a Buddhist swastika.
I'm sure it is, Dan. and is Hasan a big fan of Bleach? We established.
I know. Okay, I know for a fact he's talked about Hasan watching Bleach. They had a whole section about Hasan watching Bleach. I know that for a fact. Oh, here it is.
Bleach. Okay.
I feel like you buy that, you take one look at it, you go,
Racism. And he's too dumb to realize that he's even doing it. Or maybe he is and he doesn't care. I don't know. They had a sword that looked like a swastika in the video. I know it's an anime thing, but maybe we'll be a little more careful.
I said that this morning too.
Let me pull that up. I know that the chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not going to.
That's what I was looking for. I want you to keep this in mind. I want you to keep this in mind, by the way. Just listen to this. This was like, what was that? Freaking 6 days ago? Less than a week ago?
Maybe we'll be a little more careful. I had a sword that looked like a swastika in the video. I know it's an anime thing, but maybe we'll be a little more careful.
I said that this morning too.
Let me pull that up. I know that the chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them. But like,
so one must have to ask, right? Why 5 days later is he making this video claiming that iDubbbz and Hasan apparently did this on purpose? Right? And might I postulate that if you pay attention, if you're a snarker, if you will, you might have realized that Ethan Klein made the claim that 3 days ago was Noah Sampson's timeline, right, to get prepared for what's coming. Now, one may have to ask why he then spent right? Why he then spent this stream and this stream not talking about what he had planned for Noah Sampson, and instead talked about skulls sent to his house, allegedly, and the bleach sword. Mention it briefly, I think. Or we can look. I'm curious. Noah.
Did we finish the text?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Noah Sampson, he has missed his deadline. Actually, Mudahar's in the chat. What did he say? Did you see that Noah's apparently moving out? Yeah, he's.
So we think he's trolling.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check his Instagram right now.
Well, I know he's living with his parents, and I don't.
Well, there's a follow-up post that says he moved to Argentina.
He moved to Argentina. He fled the country.
Well, okay, so
It's a good move.
I think he is moving. He just isn't going to Argentina.
Okay, maybe he's just using the opportunity to troll, I guess.
But I do think he would fit in there because clearly, well, I won't be able to sue him for defamation, and certainly he'll.
That
meet
is
a
a
lot
perk. That's a perk.
He'll meet a lot of other Nazis there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm suing Noah for defamation. Also, Noah Sampson is a Nazi. Okay. Okay. And then, I think then he moves on.
Sorry, no video, been moving, etc. Video coming soon. It's amazing how nobody wants to respond to me. Everybody goes cold feet.
I hate when people don't return my calls too.
I'm sorry.
And so that's kind of it. Right? Where's the lawsuit at? His deadline was 3 days ago. I don't see a suit. Maybe it's coming. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll apologize if I'm incorrect. But I think it's interesting that he then spends all of this time talking about something entirely unrelated, maybe to like shift his audience's focus onto the next thing so that they don't realize that they are being taken for fools. Taken for fools. Led astray. Maybe. I don't know.
Right. So, here's what it looks like in the anime, and that's right. That's a swastika. Those Nazis.
I love how we just keep saying that it's a swastika when it's very clearly not a swastika.
Is really ruined.
Which he said that like it's a Hindu symbol earlier in the video.
What was otherwise a really cool symbol, right? But the Hindus use this, Buddhists use this. It's not just the Nazis, and that's the reference that they're making on Bleach. So here's the first conversation that we have about the sword on the podcast, and you'll notice just how gracious I am. You know what I mean? I would never dream to be serious. I would never dream that they would do this on purpose. It's just too crazy.
Okay, so now I'm curious. Did you go live on YouTube? I did go live on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube right now. So I'm curious. How did he lose his graciousness? I'm genuinely curious about like what changed his mind. Cause he was also complaining about Ian being silent about the situation, right? He's like, "Oh, Ian, why are your silence is deafening?" So it's not something that like Ian said that changed his mind, right? So like, what did he just decide that it's now a Nazi symbol? So he originally didn't think it was a Nazi symbol at first, but then he thought harder about it and was like, "No, this is definitely a Nazi symbol." He's like, "Oh, I just decided that I was lying before."
Crazy, but here's our first convo about it. Maybe he is and he doesn't care. I don't know. They had a sword that looked like a swastika in the video. I know it's an anime thing, but maybe we'll be a little more careful.
I said that this morning too.
Let me pull that up. I know that the chances that
and I also want to keep in mind, didn't we have a link of Ethan just doing the Nazi salute multiple times, by the way?
On purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them, but like just be a little more aware next time.
Why would they have that though? Like I feel like you buy that, you take one look at it, you go, you know.
Why would they have a sword from one of the most popular anime of all time? Literally, what is called one of the top 3 shonen, or one of the big 3 shonen anime? What are we talking about? Is watch the show or read it? You're wrong, chatter. He said that he's read it. And it also doesn't matter. You don't have to watch all of Naruto to understand, oh, I have a Naruto headband. That doesn't change the fact that it's insanely popular. For one of the most popular shows of all time. He said that he doesn't know anyone's name from it. Okay, you're just stupid. We're now interrogating Hasan's weebiness to be like, oh well, if you're a fan, oh why don't you? Oh, you're wearing a Nirvana shirt. Name 3 songs. Oh, you fake fan, you poser. What, are we gonna yell at every person who wears a Nirvana t-shirt and doesn't know 3 songs? Do you think you're entitled to this person to like name 3 songs to see their fandiness? What are we talking about here? I did see this. I'm also not. Oh, jeez Louise.
Maybe not.
I got no.
Just admit he got it because it had a swastika. Are you insane? Why would he buy? Okay, just. I want you to take 10 seconds and just think. Just think. Just think. Why would he prominently display this swastika sword that he bought because it has a swastika in it? Right? Why would he prominently display this in like an advertisement as well? Why would he do that? Just why? Just think about that. Because he likes to be edgy? Okay, even if I were to take what you're saying at face value, it's not like he just bought the sword. He bought the sword on stream, and he posted a picture with the sword like 2 months ago during an ad. Why is it only coming up now? Did he just become a Nazi? And that's what I mean. He bought it then to be edgy and funny. He bought the sword to be edgy and funny because it has a swastika on it. Because that's just how you feel. There's no proof about this, by the way. There's zero proof of this. There's no proof. You just assume that he bought it because he wanted to be edgy. It's an assumption you're making, and I'm not engaging with you anymore. Like I'm just not. It literally. Okay, so okay, you know what? Here, watch this, chatter. I just want you to watch it. Just unrelated, by the way. Completely unrelated.
Just be a little more aware next time.
Oh, sorry, wrong thing. This thing.
Clue that.
Well, it's not actually a swastika. It just looks like a swastika.
Pretty damn
right?
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's from
It's from an
Bleach.
anime.
Okay. Do you think Ethan would get mad at Hasan for wearing a tie-dye shirt? Because it also spirals? And he just assumes it looks close enough for him? Like, what are we talking about?
Can you send it?
Oh, it's from Bleach. Okay.
Oh.
Like to bleach my mind of this video.
I'm not gonna say that they're
But
most
yeah,
genocide.
probably should have picked.
He would wear it to be edgy, yeah.
katana for the
Like
photo.
Ian posted this to Twitter, okay, with a katana,
Listen, he's just embracing his new audience.
with the least anti-Semitic people on Twitch.
True. This is true. I am the least anti-Semitic person on Twitch, or people on Twitch. You got that right, though. Confirmed. But you couldn't find the actual the video of it? You gotta get Denim's reaction? Sure.
You need to have been saying it while you were doing it, because they can literally clip just the
I'm not a Nazi. I'm doing a parody.
It's too late.
I'm
You
a
already
Jewish
did it.
man.
You already
I'm
did
an
it.
Israeli citizen. I'm going to Israel in June.
Angry
I
underscore
feel like it's
educated
important to say
underscore
that
woman
doing a
underscore
Nazi
JD
salute as
just
you call yourself
subscribed.
an Israeli
He read a
citizen is a
comment later in
crazy
stream that
strategy.
said, "Fuck you, Hiller," and he said that's anti-Semitic LMFAO.
No,
Even
he
Dan was
didn't.
like,
No, I don't believe that, Chatter. Angry educated woman, thank you for the 4-month resubscription. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No. No, I don't. No. He's joking. He's memeing about that. I don't believe he thinks that that's genuinely anti-Semitic.
Zoom in on the hilt, dude. You're being an activist. You're wearing a Palestine scarf, which is great, but don't do it with look how close the swastika is to the Palestine scarf.
What? 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 Look how close it is. And I just want to point out that if it wasn't this, it would be something else. Right? If it wasn't this, it would be something else. He would have found another thing to start yelling about in security, because that's all he has. That's all he has.
He's reading chat, looking for some. Yeah. He's reading chat, looking for something to say. This is so fucking dumb. He's such an idiot. He's a Karen. It's just bleach. No fuck off Ela. That's anti-Semitic, by the way.
He's memeing. He's joking. He's joking. I don't believe it.
What?
Oh wait, no, it's not. Sorry.
What the fuck?
Dan was like, "What?" He's like, "Nope, never mind. No, it's not." Okay.
What?
That's anti-Semitic, by the way.
What?
Oh wait, no, it's not. Sorry.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I thought they were being just leveling any criticism against, just directing it towards Hila, because she's Israeli.
Why would you think that? No, okay. 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 That's insane. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, no.
But I
just said that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah. He's reading chat, looking for something to say. This is so fucking dumb. He's such an idiot. He's a Karen. It's just bleach. No fuck off Ela. That's anti-Semitic, by the way. Oh wait, no, it's not. Sorry.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I thought they were being like, just leveling any criticism against.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist. Okay.
Like, why would he even think
Zachariah
that?
Fire just subscribed. He is just so silly.
It's literally like 3 words. It was F off Hila. And he was like, that's anti-Semitic because you're saying it because she's Israeli. And Dan was like, what? He's like, wait, no, it's not. I thought they were saying it because she's Israeli. Also, why would that be anti-Semitic? Okay, even if they were saying it because she is Israeli, how would that be anti-Semitic? How? Unless you believe that the state of Israel and Judaism are intrinsically tied, and that Israel speaks for all Jewish people, which he claims that he doesn't believe, it wouldn't make any sense. Like, that's crazy. And here's the thing. If Dan didn't speak up, if Dan didn't speak up, he would have just rocked with it. He would have been like, yep, that's anti-Semitic. Let's move on, by the way. Hasan's chat. He'll be like, and then, right, a day later or 2 days later or a few weeks later, he'll be like, remember that anti-Semitic Hasan's chat that we looked at? Right? You remember how anti-Semitic Hasan's chat was? They were being anti-Semitic towards Hila. Now, is he going to show the clip of him doing that directly? No, he wouldn't. Is he going to show what the chat message was? No, he wouldn't. He would just say it, be like, Hasan's chat is anti-Semitic, and then he'll say it again, and then he'll say it again, and then he'll say it again, until his Kleinsmen are just repeating the talking point of, oh, Hasan's chat is anti-Semitic. Because Ethan said they did some anti-Semitism towards Hila. And that's it.
Go Up is paying my rent $10. Don't forget he thought, go to hell, was anti-Semitic too.
He did. Numbers Go Up, thank you for the $10 donation. He did. He doxed some random person on Instagram. Because they commented, go to hell, underneath Hila's post. He was like, that's anti-Semitic. And then he doxed them. Like,
anyway,
I don't
hold on,
understand.
sorry about that. This is Xander. This one's for you. Xander.
Oh, God.
You would much rather spend.
I'm Jewish, and I'm doing a parody that I then.
You need to have been saying it while you were doing it because they can literally clip just the.
I'm not a Nazi. I'm doing a parody.
It's too late.
I'm
You
a
already
Jewish
did
man.
it. You already
I'm
did it.
Israeli citizen. I'm going to Israel in June.
You already did it, dude.
To Gaza.
I have to admit, I did not understand the explanation.
yes, he is sick hiling to a black man. Why not button this? Because he's proud of it. And he'll defend it. And this wasn't even the only time. Chat, this was a different time. I think same day, but a different time on this day. Right? And this wasn't the only time either. He did it again. He did a double salute. On this same day. Different day, different hair. Oh, is it different hair? It might have been a different day. Which makes it even worse, honestly, if you think about it. Let me see.
Basically.
Double salute.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to all my people.
Yeah, like.
Hey, this one's for homie on TikTok.
Yeah, so he starts with the double salute. He says it himself.
I think he's trying to one up Musk. He's trying to out Nazi him, basically.
Double salute.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to all my people.
Yeah, like
hey, this one's for homie on TikTok. What's his name?
So you think he's?
Anyway,
I don't
hold on,
understand.
sorry about that. This is Xander. This one's for you. Xander.
Oh God.
You would much rather spend.
I'm Jewish, and I'm doing a parody that I then
You need to have been
That's
saying.
not what a parody is, by the way. I know I don't need to say this. That's not what a parody is. It's like saying a slur and saying, "Don't worry, I'm doing a parody of racism." I'm doing a parody of racism, actually.
It while you were doing it because they can literally clip just the.
I'm not a Nazi. I'm doing a parody.
It's too late.
I'm
You
a
already
Jewish
did it.
man.
You already
I'm
did it.
Israeli citizen. I'm going to Israel in June.
You already did it, dude.
To Gaza.
I have to admit, I did not understand the explanation.
Also, and I want to point out, because they've been doing this for like a month. This was in February. That they kept playing this like clip of Xander saying that Hassan was considering going to Gaza and saying that Hassan backed out because he was scared and how Hassan's a coward for that, right? And how they're saying that they're going to Israel in June, right? But in the most recent episode, or one of the most recent episodes, they said that they're not gonna go either. Because they were afraid of their kids hearing raid sirens. So they also backed out. After months of calling Hassan a coward for not going to Gaza, they backed out because it was scary for them too. Like, what are we, like, literally, it's pure projection. They backed out too? Yes! Yes, they backed out. Pure projection.
He had some, I'll be fair, he had some interesting points, but ultimately, and I'll tell you what those are. I'm going to give it all a fair shake.
You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen.
So far, so
good. Thank you for the 13-month subscription.
Good. No problem. Sincere.
Chilling.
Grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Now, what him and conservatives will tell you is that he's sending his heart out to the people. Here he slams his heart. And then this motion straight like I'm just like think about
so like undeniable. People are fucking tripping, man.
On our subreddit there was a side-by-side of him and actual neo-Nazis doing it that I thought was informative. If you guys find that, it's
like you can literally see him, and this is it's so funny about this. You can literally see him teeing it up, right? He's like, he's in his mind, he's like, oh, I'm gonna do a salute for a bit, right? And so he backs his chair up, right? He starts getting ready to do it. Like he's like, it's a good bit.
I thought was informative. If you guys find that, it's the motion is okay. If I was doing a speech,
and then again he backs his chair up, he's like, okay, let me get ready.
I'm just gonna try to give him all the benefit of the doubt in the world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like if I'm gonna get as close to a Nazi salute as possible and think it's reasonable, thank you so much. Thank you. Like I'm trying to thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Or maybe I'll try like if you're waving, like thank you guys.
What if it's someone in the rafters far away though?
Yeah. So what if it's like this? Thank you guys. Does that look like? Here, I'll stand up.
No, that was starting to look like a Nazi salute for sure.
Here, I'll show you guys. It's like this. Thank you guys so much.
Well, see, that's the difference. Is waving changes everything.
It's the tilt of the wrist.
Changes everything.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, when it's just when you're just karate chopping the air, it's pretty unmistakable at that point.
Well, and then he does it again. Why is it all choppy? What happened?
That's him.
Here he kind of my heart goes out to you.
That's him
Covers his
catching
basis
himself.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that if this were planned, which I assume he knew what he was doing before he went on the stage, I don't think it was like a passionate. I mean, I think he was passionate about it, but I don't think he was in the moment.
There's emotion.
And
You know,
idiot. That.
thank you.
He did that. He goes.
Really felt it.
This is what he did. He hit his heart hard.
Again.
He did that. He goes.
Really felt it.
So he's about to do it. He's like, no, I gotta set the bit up. You know, I have to set the bit up.
This is what he did. He hit his heart hard.
Uh-huh.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what he did.
The problem is that
And Zach says 10 out of 10 Sig Heil. I love these people that like care so much about anti-Semitism that they're very clearly making jokes about a very clear Nazi salute. Right? But like just think about how they talk about Elon Musk, one of the most powerful people on the planet, right? And a very clear like Nazi gesture from a fascist versus like IDEB's holding a bleached sword. You know what I mean? And Zach is like, you know, I saw that and I was just like, how could they do that? They have to be more careful about the props that they use. It's very much a swastika, and I think that it's kind of on purpose a little bit. Like come on. I have too many tabs open, by the way.
Like, bro, how are you doing? Who are you helping here, man? We don't want to see swastikas this close to Palestine scarves, right? That's sending the wrong message. But okay, you're our white savior, Ian. I defer to you. Is he a fan of bleach? That would at least explain why he owns this one. And well, here is our what we found. So is Hasan a bleach fan that just thinks this sword is cool? He likes the character. That's why he bought it, even though it looks like a sword.
I like the idea that you can't think the sword is cool without like loving the swastika on it. Even if you're like, oh, I know this sword from Bleach, right? You know, it's not my top anime, but like, it's a cool sword, right? Ichigo's chill. You must be a Bleach super fan. Bleach must be your #1 anime, right? You have to open up your My Anime list and show you rated Bleach a 10 out of 10. Or else you're anti-Semitic for owning a Bleach sword. So any person who owns a Bleach sword who is not ranked Bleach as the best anime of all time, anti-Semitic.
Swastika.
Oh my god!
What happened?
I fucking hate when you're right, bro.
Me?
What?
Open what I just sent.
Holy shit, dude. Everybody listen up. This is big.
S tier. Wait, I don't even know who that guy is.
That's Isaac, Bleach.
Oh, I don't watch Bleach.
Doesn't watch Bleach. Now, this video's from 8 months ago, right? So, I mean, listen, it's been almost...
I also don't watch Bleach, so I don't know how far Eisen is into the show. But I did watch episodes 1 through 5. So...
a year. So we continue to look to see, hey, is he a fan of Bleach? This one's from 4 months ago, which is pretty dang recent.
Oh, it's play on the...
Does it get worse? Does it get worse?
Also, again, I want to point this out as well, is that it could very much have been a situation where he's not like, oh, I want the... Because he bought other swords at the convention as well. Right? And again, at this point, we're just like, doing in-depth analysis of like Hasan's thought process for buying a sword. You feel me? But like, he bought other swords as well, and he could have just been like, oh, I want this sword. Aizen's literally 30 episodes in. He bought 3 to cosplay Zoro, yeah.
Oh god, is this even more recent?
It's much more recent.
This is no, this is from 4 months ago. No, what does he say?
Do you watch Bleach? I do not. I do not.
So 4 months ago, he's not a Bleach fan. I'm trying to get...
Also, again, maybe I'll be charitable to Ethan. Maybe he doesn't know Bleach is also a manga. Right? Every anime merch you buy has to be Ethan approved. True. You can't even just be a passing a passing fan of a show. They'd be like, oh, I like, again, One Piece, right? If you are a One Piece fan, but you buy, or if you're not a One Piece fan, you haven't watched One Piece, but you buy a Straw Hat, racist. You're racist. You just are. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. You're racist. You haven't watched One Piece, yet you buy a Straw Hat. You couldn't have possibly have known that Luffy wears a straw hat through, passing familiarity of the show, right? You couldn't have possibly known that. You must have loved One Piece and watched all of it, or, you're racist. I don't make the rules, chat. I don't make the rules. Oh, yeah, we'll get to this in a second. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought Hasan yesterday said having read manga a long time ago. Am I wrong? Oh, Hasan said he read the manga. I can't interrogate whether or not he actually read the manga or not. I don't know. Right, but that's what Hasan said. He did say he read the manga. Right, he said he did not watch the show.
Find any out, right? Like, there's no way that they would intentionally use the sword with the swastika. Now, this clip is from today, and I want to show you guys just
also, okay, even if all of this was the case, right? Even if I were to give Ethan the benefit of the doubt, and he's like, sure, whatever. What does this have to do with Ian?
How, like, I so want to give them the benefit of the doubt on this. Sword with a swastika hilt.
Well, I've been informed repeatedly that it's a Buddhist swastika.
I'm sure it is, Dan. and is Hasan a big fan of Bleach? We establish.
What we established is that 4 months ago he was not. It's possible that he binge watched the fuck out of it in the last couple months.
Dan not knowing that it was also a manga, right? Because Hasan didn't say that he's like, I'm not a fan of Bleach, right? He just said, I don't watch Bleach. You feel me? I'm not a fan of a lot of things that I've watched. I just want to point that out. There's a lot of things that I've watched that I am not a fan of. I think one of my favorite light novel series is getting like a manga or an anime adaptation, and I'm not watching that because it looked like it was garbage. Well, I might watch it anyway, but it still looks like it was garbage, right? And so I don't even know what the, I know because I saw it on freaking, I saw it on Twitter. Which one? I think it's Beginning After the End. Is what the book is. The book is called Beginning After the End. But the show is not called that, I don't think. But it looked like the same show. I have to check. Anime. Wait, it came out this month? Oh, God. Your show had no animators? Stop. Stop. It's so... Just stop animating. Stop. Just stop animating entirely. You know what? Let's just put it to rest. You know, we peaked in the 90s, and we've slowly been petering off since then. Let's just call it quits. The entire industry. The entire genre and medium of animation, let's just stop it. No more. No more. We're done. We're good. we're good. Yeah, no more art. No more drawn pictures. No more drawn pictures, please. We're done. But yeah, so if somebody asked, "Hey Sean, have you seen The Beginning After the End?" I'll be like, no, definitely not. But I've read it. You feel me? So that can also still be accurate. If somebody's like, if somebody asks me, like, have you seen The Beginning After the End? I say no. They're like, oh, well, Sean isn't the fan of The Beginning After the End. I'm like, well, I've read the book. You feel me? Like those are still congruent ideas. They're not paradoxical.
It is possible.
If that's what happened, it started with the hilt and inspired him to watch it.
I still think it's a poor coincidence, but it also is just like, come on. Did nobody look at this? Did nobody look at this at all?
It's not a swastika, Dan. What are we talking about? By his own admission.
Wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No, no. I don't actually think that. Do I think that it's insane that they didn't catch that there's a swastika? I mean, somebody at some point must have noticed the hilt of that is a swastika.
Or maybe after they posted it and then everybody pointing it out, maybe you just take it down and post it.
It's not a swastika. Oh my goodness, bro. We just cancel Bleach. Cancel it. Why are we not calling up Shonen Jump to get Bleach canceled officially? Why are we not doing a boycott of Bleach? Genuinely, if it's a swastika, why is Ethan not using his massive hate-brigading audience that they love to do to get Bleach taken down? Well, Bleach manga ended. Well, they're still reanimating things. Call up the production company who's animating Bleach. Get it taken down off of Crunchyrolls or whatever. Take it off the shelves. Yeah, someone still distributes it. You can still buy it somewhere. Why are we not doing that? Maybe it's because Ethan knows that it's not a swastika. And he's just trying to attach anything he can to like tarnish the reputation of Ian, which then tarnishes reputation by proxy of the content cop, what makes him not look that bad.
From photo.
Nope, it's still
I assume
up.
you took quite a few. You know?
It's still up. Well, guys, pay attention because this came out right after the show ended. And I gotta say, guys, I don't think there's gonna be a single person left watching this that has any doubt about what's happening. Here he is.
It's the same picture. He showed the same picture. And he's like, well, that settles it. This is the same exact picture we showed 2 minutes ago in this video. There should be no doubt in anybody's mind. No doubt in anybody's mind.
Buying the sword at an anime expo.
I want the normal, this one. The normal one without the... This one's sicker. Wait, that's a little sus.
So he points to the swastika hilt and says that's a little sus. At this point, I feel like you can pretty much conclude that he was talking about the shape of the swastika. Although I think that Hasan fans and Hasan himself would still deny it, saying it's a Buddhist symbol. I was talking about.
Is it not? Okay, this is the problem, right? Ethan will never say that it's not well, first of all, he said a Hindu symbol originally. It's not a Buddhist or Hindu symbol, right? He will never say, no, it's not. This is definitely a swastika, because he knows that that's not the case. He knows this is not the case. And so he's like, is Hasan pointing out that that's a little suspicious, a little, you know. I don't know about that.
About something else, whatever.
But like knowing that it's then not a swastika, right? Is not good enough for Ethan. Probably there's no difference. I don't even know that the swastika in India and the manji in Japan are different. No, he called it out that it's a different symbol at the beginning of the video. He called it out.
Yada. Well, guys, here's another one from July 2023.
Immediately goes for the swastika one. Got it.
I like this already much better.
You're the one who owns this.
Remember when we did that designer clothes stream?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Hasan, can you say that one more time for me?
That's a back. That's like a bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Immediately goes for the swastika one. Got it.
I like this already.
No jokes. We have arrived to the no jokes section of the broadcast. Like the joke very clearly is that it's not a swastika. That's the joke. The joke is that it's not a swastika. But it does look a little. It looks a little similar. It is a swastika, but not a Nazi swastika. No, it's not a swastika at all. It's not. it's going the opposite direction than a swastika. You see, Hasan didn't say it was a parody. This is true.
Much better. You're the one who owns this. Do you remember when you did that design?
That's a great point. He is the one that owns it. So, I mean, guys, what are we doing here? So we've confirmed that even as far back as 2023, he knew it was the swastika sword. I tried to get him out.
Jeez Louise. Okay. Like, I don't even know how you start to address this person's because the problem is Ethan doesn't even believe this. That's the problem here. That's the issue. Ethan doesn't believe this. Nobody believes this. So we're sitting here arguing that like it's not a swastika, right? And that it's like Hasan's not a Nazi, but Ethan doesn't believe it. He doesn't care, right? If it serves his purpose, right, it could be whatever it wants to be. If you find out, like, you know, tomorrow that Ethan Klein has the exact same sword at home or whatever, he'll then claim that like, oh, his is not a swastika, and that it's okay for him to have it because he's Jewish or because he's Israeli. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter. He doesn't have any beliefs. Means suburbs believe this with all their heart. No, they don't, chatters. Don't be stupid. They don't believe this. They do not believe this. They are lying. They're liars. They're liars. They do not believe that this is a swastika. They do not believe that this is a dog whistle. They don't care. They don't care. But if it serves their purpose, right, it can be whatever it wants to be to make Hasan or iDubbbz look bad. That's it. I spoke with a couple that are so sunk in the money pit for him, they've deluded themselves. You're talking like two people. It doesn't matter. They don't believe it. They don't believe it. Wholesale, people do not believe that like Hasan owns a swastika sword. Like even the guy who came in here earlier that I banned didn't believe that it was a swastika sword or didn't believe that like Hasan's a Nazi, right? But it serves their purpose to be like, well, Hasan was trying to be edgy, so he bought the edgy sword, right? Which is also not even what Ethan's point is. And so therefore it's like, you know, Hasan wrong. Which means Ian wrong.
Out of this, you know, every step of the way. But here is, and I mean, is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, free Palestine, really, bro? The movement doesn't need this, okay? We can free Palestine without being a Nazi.
Me, on the other hand,
Eisen also looks different from when he shows up, so it would make sense for Hasan to not know that's Eisen if he didn't get that far into the series.
looks so cool.
I have some dope attire on.
Yeah, did you buy this here?
Yeah, I was buying another one that was black because I thought it matched my outfit, and it had a swastika, and I was like, oh.
Ludwig saw the sword, and he's like, oh, it has a swastika. So clear.
Wait, okay, hold on. I need to run that one back.
Attire on.
Yeah, did you buy this here?
Yeah, I was buying another one that was black because I thought it matched my outfit, and it had a swastika, and I was like, oh.
Ludwig saw the sword, and he's like, oh, it has a swastika. So clear.
That's not what he said. Oh, you have to be stupid. You have to be stupid. He's not talking about a sword. I do not believe that he watched this and he thought that that was the case.
Attire on.
Yeah, did you buy
without being a Nazi?
Me, on the other hand, I look so cool.
I have some dope attire on.
Yeah, did you buy
I have some dope attire on.
this here?
Yeah.
Did you buy this here?
I was buying another one that was black because I thought it
Yeah, I was buying another one that was
matched
black.
my outfit, and it had a swastika.
But it matched my outfit, but it had a swastika.
And I was like, oh.
Ludwig saw the sword, and he's like, oh, it has a swastika.
And he's like, Logan saw the sword. Since when is a sword called an attire? He's referring to, I don't know what this is called, and I don't want to mess it up. And I feel like calling it a robe is racist. Kimono? Is it a kimono? It is an article of clothing that he's referring to.
So clearly, it's the first thing everybody notices about this sword.
Is it the
It's
style of a kimono? Okay. Kimono style thing. A kimono style article of clothing.
not subtle at all. So, guys, what do we think? Right? I mean, what do we think? What do we think? Okay. Yeah, fuck you guys too. Okay. How about you fucking Nazis? How about that? Guys, if you got an alternate theory, please let me know. But as far as I can tell, this ain't no coincidence. And by the way, he's holding it.
If you have an alternate theory, let me know. This is not a coincidence. Can't be that though. So, you know, yeah, you come up with a different alternate theory. And the fact that like 1 is not a swastika, 2 it's just a sword, 3 it's not a dog whistle to Ethan. Which, because if it was, Ethan would defend it. All right, let's be real. Let's be real. This is how we know that it's not a dog whistle for Ethan. Because if it was a anti-Semitic dog whistle, Ethan would defend it. Whiffle. If it was an anti-Semitic dog whistle, Ethan would defend it. Ethan has a history of defending anti-Semitic dog whistles. Do I have to pull it up again? Because I will. I'll pull it up. Look up Ethan Klein PewDiePie. Where's it at? Or maybe it's H3. H3. Ugh, no. It's on H3 Productions. This one. This one.
Hey man, I have no idea what you said about me because...
This one, here. Is PewDiePie racist? Here. You know, we'll watch it from the beginning. From zero. From 0-0.
Guys, I just got off the group chat with my parents. My dad says PewDiePie is an anti-Semite. My mom says, what did he say? My dad says, kill the Jews. I regret to inform you, Felix, that I will be dropping you.
This is where it's a joke comes from. I knew I heard it somewhere. It comes from this.
Kill the Jews. I regret to inform you, Felix, that I will be dropping you from my Twitter follows. I will be unsubscribing from your account. Actually, no. That's just a goof. Felix is a great guy. He's not an anti-Semite. And I don't know what the fuck is going on, but you guys probably heard the news that Felix was dropped from his network, that YouTube canceled his show. He's being denounced. There's like 20 articles calling him a raging anti-Semite. I feel like as a Jew and somebody who knows Felix and is friends with him, I'm in a unique position to talk about this situation. So as far as I can tell, this new round of hit jobs on Felix started from the Wall Street Journal with an article entitled Disney Severs Ties with YouTube Star PewDiePie After Anti-Semitic Posts. Okay, that title is fucking garbage. Anti-Semitic posts? Let's just show what he did.
But anyway, Fiverr now has decided that this kind of work is not enough. They need more. So they've expanded into pretty much fucking everything. It was a blissful moment when I discovered this. We have the low of the low, the scraping of the bottom, fun and lifestyle. Basically just become, I'll do pretty much anything you want for $5.
PewDiePie went on Fiverr, and as a joke, he asked people to hold up a sign that says "Death to all Jews," comma. Everyone's forgetting the second part.
As a joke. As a joke. As a joke. I wonder how Ethan feels about this now. I wonder if in big 2025, Ethan Klein would defend this. Somebody should ask him. Genuinely. Ethan Klein. How do you feel about this now? Having a bleached sword unacceptable anti-Semitism, dog whistle, right? Doing this, joke. A funny haha, a funny kiki.
Death to all Jews, comma, subscribe to Keemstar. He's making a joke about Keemstar, making it sound like he's anti-Semitic, okay? That's the joke. Now, another part of this commentary, and you're making me explain a fucking joke, which is always obscene, is that he's seeing what you can get people to do for $5. It's an interesting commentary. He found a guy who impersonates Jesus and got him to say Hitler did absolutely nothing wrong.
As a joke, of course. You know, that's a funny joke. Ah ha ha. A funny ah ha ha joke, actually. You know, it just, for some reason, seems like all of his jokes were aligned with Nazism and Nazi sentiment for some reason. But like, no, if you're friends with Keemstar, if you're friends with Ethan Klein, it's just a joke. Just a joke. It's a funny ha-ha joke, you know? Ethan's comedian. He would know what a joke is.
Hello, Jesus here. Just want to let you all know that Hitler did absolutely nothing wrong.
Now that is fucking hilarious, guys, okay?
That's hilarious. His words.
It's a joke. He's not serious. There's a big difference, okay? It's a joke. It's fucking hilarious, guys, okay? It's a joke. 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 He's not serious. It's a joke. He's not serious. There's a big difference, guys. Context matters. As a Jewish person, I'm not offended. And this is the problem with this manufactured outrage. People getting offended for people who are not offended. You don't need to get outraged on my behalf.
I just love that the idea that like, oh, the only people in Ethan Klein's mind who could be offended at Nazism is Jewish people. That's it. That's it. If you hate Nazis and you're not Jewish, you're getting offended on somebody else's behalf, and Ethan didn't ask for that, actually.
Okay. Hitler standing on a pulpit screaming, "Let's kill all the Jews."
I love how people try to convince me that Ethan Klein has changed, and he was Sig Heiland back then, 8 years ago, and he's still Sig Heiland now. Like, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed about this person. Nothing has changed. Nazis went after LGBTQ people too. The Nazis went after everybody. Like, there was very few people that wasn't on the chopping block for the Nazis. Like, they had a running list of the people that they hated and they wanted to exterminate. There was a lot of them. There was a lot of them.
Outraged. People getting offended for people who are not offended. You don't need to get outraged on my behalf, okay? Hitler standing on a pulpit screaming.
Now, was this necessary? Did he need to do this? Did he? Interesting usage of this motion.
You don't need to get outraged on my behalf, okay? Hitler standing on a pulpit screaming, "Let's kill all the Jews," is not the same as PewDiePie doing a little goof on Fiverr.
A little goof. A little goof. Thanks, Ethan Klein. Notable carer about anti-Semitism, Ethan Klein.
Context matters. Use your fucking brain, guys. By the way, Wall Street Journal, aren't you like a fucking news organization? Don't you talk about like Wall Street? And now you're writing about PewDiePie? His business must be slow, eh, guys? You have to log in and subscribe to read their article. God, I wonder why they're creating these sensational titles, man. It's probably not fueled by money. Probably not trying to clickbait people to come on their shitty website and take credit for ruining the reputation of one of the biggest YouTubers for absolutely no reason. Wall Street.
You just see how hard he's dick riding for PewDiePie, doing actual anti-Semitism? Like actual legitimate anti-Semitism?
You guys have a stellar reputation. You're the best.
It's almost like Ethan has never cared about anti-Semitism, and instead weaponizes his audience against people who he has felt this has wronged him. And this is how he's always been. Interesting.
Well, because I can't read this piece of shit article, let's go to their YouTube channel and see the video that they made to support these claims. Warning: graphic language and content. Viewer discretion is advised. Really hyping this up. What is this, an ISIS beheading video, or is this just some clips from YouTube? You guys really know how to set the tone here. Ooh, I love this spooky music. Very scandalous. Like a little tribal. Ooh, I like that music. It's getting me in the mood to fucking contact YouTube and tell them to drop PewDiePie.
Die wollten her kompromisslos die einzige Macht und alleinige Macht in Deutschland.
Now, I love the fact that they're using this video of Felix in Nazi imagery as support that he's anti-Semitic. But of course, they remove all of the context, because this comes from a video entitled "I'm Racist," where he lampoons the media for mischaracterizing him as racist.
This is what people would actually think if I didn't have a chance to, you know. Because people just read the title. People just read this and they're like, oh, okay. I see. PewDiePie's a Nazi now. That's... all right.
He puts on the imagery and he watches a Hitler speech as a joke, making...
oh, as a joke.
...fun of himself and the media who mischaracterizes him. And of course, they took it out of context to show that he's anti-Semitic.
Now, one must ask why PewDiePie gets a pass from Ethan with this, but other people do not. One must ask why PewDiePie gets the charitability of jokes, while others do not.
Semitic. It's fucking...
yeah, he puts on the imagery, and not he dresses up like a Nazi.
Absurd. Think about this. The person who made this video and who wrote these articles looked at all of his videos, saw that he was talking about how the media misrepresents him, ignored that, made the conscious decision to cut out the pieces they wanted to misrepresent him again. Shame on you.
Man, it would be crazy if somebody who's obviously acting in bad faith takes out of context clips and cuts them together into a video to push a specific narrative. That would be wild. Yeah, good thing no one does that anymore. Good thing we left that behind 8 years ago.
You, dude. That is fucking pathetic. I mean, I'm disappointed because it just proves to these cult of outrage people that you can achieve whatever your outrage sets its will on. You know what I mean? You could get PewDiePie's show canceled. All I need to do is write into these fucking horseshit papers and get a sensational title. And
right? That's crazy. So in order to, you would say, get PewDiePie deplatformed, that people with extraordinarily large audience would create salacious headlines and out of context clips in order to push for the narrative that this person is somehow bigoted or wrong in order to get them deplatformed. Man, I'm so glad we don't do that anymore. I'm so glad we have moved past and beyond that phase of the internet. Going as far as to like contact people's sponsors to get them to drop them over perceived bigotry. Man, I'm glad that Ethan Klein is here to stand up against that behavior. Good on Ethan Klein for standing up against that behavior. I'm sure that in 2025, he's still doing that same thing. Standing up against this behavior that he's calling out right now.
And it breaks my heart that YouTube and Maker and Disney caved to this fake outrage. And
yeah, man, it does suck when large corporations cave to faux outrage pushed by people who are operating in bad faith over what is very clearly a joke. Man, I'm so glad that doesn't happen anymore. I'm so glad that doesn't happen anymore. And I'm so glad that Ethan Klein is here to push back against that behavior. Wow. I just woke up from an 8-year coma, and this is my first day in 2025. Let's see what Ethan Klein is doing and how he's still pushing back against that behavior.
Let me remind you, Disney, before you get on your fucking high horse with your white powdered wig, that Walt Disney was a notorious racist and anti-Semite, okay? So why don't you just close up shop? Why don't you just shut down the whole fucking company? Because he actually was a real racist and anti-Semite, unlike fucking Felix, who's just a comedian who didn't even make jokes that bad.
Oh, he didn't even make jokes that bad. Okay, thank you, Ethan Klein. I'm so glad that you are here to dictate what is like, it is not jokes that bad. You know, maybe if Ethan or if Felix said that Sabra hummus was bad hummus, Ethan would be singing a different tune right now. You know, maybe if he just, maybe if Felix was like, man, Sabra hummus, not good hummus, then Ethan would be right there alongside Disney calling him out. But no, he's a comedian, he says, who makes jokes that are not that bad.
Result of this manufactured outrage, his network Maker, which is owned by Disney, and YouTube dropped his new season of Scare PewDiePie, which was, as I understand it, almost nearly completed, and we were in an episode of that. So you're killing the Jews' limelight. You're anti-Semitic. Where's my fucking spot in Scare PewDiePie? That was gonna launch my...
Man, it's crazy that there was a whole campaign to get YouTube to drop PewDiePie, and so inadvertently it harmed a Jewish creator that was being platformed and promoted. You know, I'm so glad that in 2025, mass harassment campaigns that get people deplatformed don't inadvertently harm Jewish people who have access to this large platform and could be promoted. You know, I'm so glad that we've moved past that in big 2025, and that this doesn't happen anymore. And that Ethan Klein, if it does happen, Ethan Klein would be right here alongside us, pushing back against it. I'm so happy to have allies like Ethan Klein to stand against undue harassment campaigns and deplatforming of creators for jokes, little to no reason.
My acting career. Why are you holding down the Jew? I'm writing an outrageous letter to the Wall Street Journal to write an article about how Disney and YouTube are anti-Semitic. Watch, they're going to do it too. They don't give a shit. They don't have any morals there. The biggest result of this is just the huge smear campaign that is, been thrust onto Felix. Even my parents, the fact that they read about this, friends are like, hey, what's up with PewDiePie? Is he an anti-Semite? Because they know I'm friends with him. That is the biggest consequence of this. I think a global case of defamation.
What? So you're saying that there's a mass harassment campaign to lampoon a creator for anti-Semitism, and that is a case of defamation because there is, as you claim, little to no evidence of this anti-Semitism. Well, I'm glad to know that if this was to happen to a creator in 2025, Ethan Klein would stand against it. I'm glad to know that Ethan Klein would stand against this happening in 2025.
the hardest irony to swallow is that these people are actually doing what they are accusing Felix of doing. They are trivializing real racism by going on this campaign to accuse him of being a racist. They are trivializing people who actually hate Jews, who actually...
You know, I'm so happy that, like, if this were to happen in 2025, Ethan Klein would stand against it. You know? Mass harassment campaigns to trivialize the nature of anti-Semitism, right, down to just jokes, as opposed to people who are actually anti-Semitic and diverting attention away from those people. I'm so glad to know that Ethan Klein would be on our side in 2025 if this were to happen.
They hate black people. Felix is not a real racist. He's a comedian. Maybe he pushed the boundary a little too far. But guys, that's it. Let's not call him an anti-Semite, because he's not. Save your fucking outrage for the real racists. And that's why I stand with PewDiePie. And so should you.
Breaking news tonight at 8. Popular YouTuber Ethan Klein accused of anti-Semitism? Take a look at this disturbing footage.
Kill the Jews.
Wow, you heard it here, folks. Ethan Klein hates the Jews. Tune in tomorrow night at 8 to see what other videos we took out of context to prove that this man is a raging anti-Semite. These claims are not actually.
What other clips we took out of context to prove that this man is a raging anti-Semite? His jokes haven't changed? Yeah, no, his targets just have. Literally all he does now. Yes, Chad. This was a very long-winded joke explanation to just demonstrate to you that Ethan Klein is now doing the exact behaviors that he was accusing the media of doing in 2017, but to defend actual legitimate anti-Semitism as it existed here, as opposed to saying that Sabra hummus is bad. When a group of Arab creators, including one Jewish creator, says that Sabra hummus is bad. So he did change? No, Chad, he didn't change. His targets have changed. Behavior did not. Also, no, we're gonna get to this in a second. We're gonna get to this in a second.
Hasan?
I would argue he got worse. I mean, he went from like defending PewDiePie's anti-Semitism to like doing and being Islamophobic and defending genocide. So yeah, I'd say he got worse, but like, again, just different targets, right? He went from saying slurs to like, you know, defending genocide. I would agree that is worse, right? But he didn't change for the better. He didn't grow as a person.
Ethan, last time you were on the show, you drew.
What? Oh.
Ethan, last time you were on the show, you drew something very special for us.
yeah. Well, it wasn't my idea.
Now,
that was 100%. That was not my fucking idea.
$20 for a swastika.
I mean, fuck, I like give a shit.
No. There you go. Mike's his credit card.
Now, here's your 20 back, bitch.
Oh!
I think I just broke the law. I think I'm going to jail. I think I'm going to jail. Ela, you're my handler. You're supposed to help me. This may get you this may get you age restricted.
This is a very provocative looking shot. There's your thumbnail. Page 3, page 3. You fucking asshole. You fucking dick.
Ethan Klein drawing two swastikas, actually. One on the money and then one on PewDiePie. Did Mr. care about anti-Semitism?
So you can do that.
I can't. Look how pissy.
That's what you get for not being involved.
Look how pissy.
When World War II happened, yeah, I didn't forget. You guys did get involved. Now you're paying.
He knows the history shit.
Now you're paying the price.
He knows
bitch.
we're a bunch of cooks.
I didn't forget.
She's a sweet girl. Trust her, Felix. She won't.
Okay. What did you do?
It's just a cute face. It's a face.
Wait, you turned the swastika into a nose?
Yeah.
It's still a swastika, sorry.
No, I think I can get away with that. Yeah. Definitely can get away with that. Hey, is that a swastika on your shirt?
No, it's a nose.
It's a nose.
So yeah, Ethan Klein being a hypocrite. What? No. Oh, sorry. This is him doing the Nazi salute. Sorry, totally unrelated. Totally and completely unrelated. Just one of the many times he did it. Oh, this is also him trivializing anti-Semitism in real time.
Yeah. He's reading chat.
And being called out from it, like for it, by his own producer.
Yeah. He's reading chat, looking for something to say. This is so fucking dumb. He's such an idiot. He's a Karen. It's just bleach. No fuck off Ela. That's anti-Semitic, by the way.
What?
Oh wait, no, it's not. Sorry.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I thought they were being like, just leveling any criticism against, just directing it towards Hila, because she's Israeli.
Yeah, no.
But I
just said that.
Yeah.
He's so stupid, bro. Okay, let's get to the title. Right? So that was all his video from 2 days ago that I missed. But yesterday something very interesting happened. So he Ethan actually did something interesting, and he actually agreed to talk to Sam Seder.
Bag of turd.
What?
Okay.
I know he doesn't think highly of me. You know. Oh, by the way, update. Everybody has been raving, has been pushing for a long time. Hasan will not debate me. He won't watch the video. But he's been saying, you don't need to talk to me. Talk to approved Jew, sanctioned official Jew friend, Sam Seder. And after watching his crew disparage me for the 100 billionth time and just repeating like Hasan talking points mindlessly, I decided it's time to reach out to Sam Seder to set it up. We're going to...
It's so funny because he could have done this like over a year ago, right? So before we cheer this on, chat, right? Before we cheer this on, I want to remind you, right? I want to remind you that he could have done this over a year ago. And there's a reason why he's doing this now. There's a reason why he's doing this now. I think partially, maybe 50%, right, is because he's running out of content. But also 50% is that he's found a lane or a talking point that he thinks will work on Sam Seder, right? He's consulted the Destiny subreddit. He's talked with his wife and with Dan. He's scrolled through his own subreddit, and he's crafted a talking point that he thinks can work on Sam Seder. So if he does actually talk to Sam Seder, he'll like try to maneuver it where he's going to be like, oh, you know, we actually agree on all these things, right? We agree on all these things, like this and that. You know, I just don't think all Israelis should die, right? He's not going to do like Hasbara, right? I think Sam's going to side with him. And I think Sam, if he touts or he maneuvers his pro-Israel sentiment in such a way, I think Sam could agree with him, right? Because Sam is nice, right? If he just says like, oh, I just don't want all Israelis to die, right? Which is not what he's been saying for like the past year and a half, right? Sam will be like, oh, no, I agree with that. And he'll be like, Saha, see? Sam and I agree. You leftists are stupid to think that I'm not pro-Palestine. So if you don't think that I'm pro-Palestine, you must not think that Sam is pro-Palestine either, right? Something like that. You feel me? Something like that. I think about the personal stuff, he's way too smart to fall into that. Honestly, I don't think Sam will side with him the moment he asks him his beef with Hasan. Make it clear what's going on. That's if Sam does ask him what his beef with Hasan is, right? Right. And I think, again, the problem would be is that if Sam gets briefed on what this is about or not, which I think he will, right? I think if Sam talks to Hasan or Emma about like what's been going on with Ethan Klein, I think he'll be a little bit more, like, a little bit less charitable and more strict, right? But like if he just goes into the conversation like, you know, he assumes like Ethan's acting in good faith, it could come out with a situation where like Sam is like, or Ethan's like, I'm not a Zionist, you know? I think that Palestinians deserve to live, but I also think that Israelis deserve to live too. And then Sam will be like, okay, you know, all right. That's the only issue. Nathan can't keep Hasan out of his mouth. He'll try to spin in some way that Sam agrees with him against Hasan, but Sam will knock him down. I don't think so. Right? Ethan is Weasley, chat. Like Ethan's dumb, but Ethan is Weasley. He knows that he can't out-debate Sam on Israel. You know, he knows this. He knows there's a reason why he's surprised or ambushed Steven Crowder with Sam Seder. You feel me? And so he would approach the conversation. He's, again, chat, we're thinking about this like a boxing match. Ethan is deciding himself to get into a ring with somebody who he knows will fuck him up. Right? And Ethan, while being stupid, right, is not a baby. He understands the size difference. I don't think Ethan knows that he's dumb. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're letting your hatred of Ethan blind you to the truth. If he thought that he was legitimately a good orator and a good debater, he would have been debating people years ago. There's a reason why he only goes after small targets. Right? Because he understands that he's dumb and he can come across as dumb. And so he's choosing to get into the ring with people who he knows will best him in a debate. He has to come with something, right? He has to like wrap his fists with rocks and sandbags. You know what I mean? He knows, okay, I'm getting in this ring with somebody who's twice my size. I got to put on some bronze knuckles real quick. He's going to cheat. That's the answer. He's going to cheat. The only question, that's not debatable. He's not going to get into this ring, right, with somebody who he knows is going to beat him. He's going to try to have some ace up his sleeves, right? He's gonna wear weighted gloves. He's gonna come with a knife in his back pocket, something that he can use and he can fall back on in the debate. Yeah, the question is not, is he going to cheat? The question is how he's going to cheat. That's what the question is. How is he going to cheat? He's like Jake Paul only fighting geriatrics? Yes, but the problem is, this is like if Jake Paul has now finally decided to get in the ring with like prime Mike Tyson, not like old Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for Jake Paul to get into the ring with like prime Mike Tyson, or with I don't know who's a good boxer, chat. Anderson Silva. I don't know if Anderson Silva is a good boxer. I don't freaking know. Canelo Alvarez? Sure. I know Tank Davis. Gets in the ring with Tank Davis. Anderson was MMA. He's so old. Okay, I don't freaking know. To be fair, I only know Anderson Silva from like playing UFC like in freaking 2013 or something. I did boxing a bit ago. Okay. You also got beat in a boxing match. Okay, not a good example. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. My point is that he's going to cheat. Right? He's going to come with a specific like he's gonna be like, okay, I have to use this one specific talking point to not lose, essentially. Or his goal might not even to be to knock out Sam in the ring or whatever. His goal may be to just last 7 rounds, right? Last 5 rounds. And he may do that by just evading the entire time. He's like, we're not gonna talk about Israel-Palestine. We're gonna talk about, or we're not talking about like Israel genocide, but talk about like, Sam, you think that Israelis deserve to live, right? Yeah, well, I believe that too. Well, we agree on this. Hasan doesn't believe that, or something like that, you know? That's what he'll do. He'll evade. He's gonna talk about Hasan and everything he's done. Sam, why do you support Hasan? Maybe that too. Can't do that for an hour. I think he'll dig into like the. Do you know Hasan supports the Houthis? Sam, I don't think you support terrorists, do you? Stuff like that. Trying to keep Sam on the back foot while evading like the things that he's actually bad at, right? And then if he gets pressed on that, he'll be like, "Oh well, he had a Houthi terrorist on stream, actually." Like that sort of he'll evade. And for me, I'll believe it when I see it. Once a liar, always a liar. When I look at that, he'll actually do it. I agree. Who has defended the Houthis? No, I'm just telling you what he's gonna do. I'm just telling you what he's gonna do. He's not going to actually have a good faith conversation, right? And if he is, he's going to manipulate it in a way where like he thinks he can skirt it to make himself look good. He's not gonna like sit down with Sam and actually interrogate his own Zionism, right? And be like, maybe I need to, maybe my actions are not actually pro-Palestinian, right? He's not gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. Right? I also think that Sam is a lot more likely to go in person to have this conversation, and I think that's a net negative. You know what I mean? I think Hasan would stream it, and he's unable to is the debate later today? No. Sam is in New York and Hasan is in LA. They said they're pushing for Friday though. I don't know. Sam would not do that. He barely did it for Tim Pool. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. The issue is that even if he doesn't go in person, he's not going to stream it. Sam's not going to stream the discussion. That's the issue that I'm having. Not that he's not going to go in person. My point is that Sam was not going to stream the discussion, which means if he buttons Sam, that is just lost. And so Ethan has full reins and control over that conversation. Right? That's my point. That's my point. Hasan would 100% stream the conversation, which means it's a lot harder for Ethan to manipulate what's going on there. Right? Because he doesn't have the button. I don't think he would button someone in a debate. It's a horrible look. It doesn't matter. He definitely would, chat. He'll be like, oh, I spilled my drink or something and accidentally it doesn't matter. He's going to cheat. It's either that or he gets called out in public live, right, in front of his entire audience to be clipped and posted everywhere. He would rather have the absence of a bad look as opposed to having the bad look actually be out there. I think you're underestimating Sam. I think you're underestimating Ethan. Genuinely. And I want to point out, I have not yet once been wrong about Ethan. Not in the past 2-3 years. I think you're underestimating how slimy Ethan can be in his discussion. Plus, Ethan has an entire crew to cushion and back him up. Exactly. He has Dan to run defense for him. Right? I'm not saying that Sam will do poorly. I'm saying that Ethan can come with the fight on his terms. Right? Ethan can come. Sam is going to be playing the away game. You know what I mean? and we're watching the broadcast. He controls the feed. He controls what we see and from what camera angles. And he has been shown to be slimy in these discussions before. He has not neutral grounds at all. Yeah. Sam can be perfect and Ethan would manipulate the narrative. Yes. And I think Sam is he's too nice in general. I think Hasan is too nice. And I think Hasan is more contentious to Ethan than Sam would be. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that Sam will perform poorly. I'm just saying that Ethan can, and I think will, manipulate the playing ground. This is before even getting into maybe like Sam Cedering Sam Seder. What things will Sam and Ethan disagree on? Sam is not pro-genocide. Ethan is. Sam's not a Zionist. Not like a staunch like right-wing Zionist. He doesn't run defense for Israel. You're 100% right about Ethan, but Sam is aware. Is more aware than you're giving him credit for. I don't know. I don't know. What if Sam sneaks Hasan onto the call? I don't think Sam is that in touch with this drama. I mean, I literally just talked about earlier 4 separate YouTubers who pulled out of the drama after just watching the content cop and deleting their content cop reactions because like Ethan sent his fan base to harass them because they're not like. Well, I feel like he says he's not anti-Zionist either. Yeah. I like would definitely brief Sam. But the problem is like you need more than a brief. Is kind of the issue, which is why like Hasan, even I don't even think Hasan is the best debate partner for Ethan in this situation. And Hasan's the content. Like he's the subject of discussion. And I don't even think Hasan is like in tune enough with what Ethan has done and said to like perform at a level that Ethan needs to like be taken down. You feel me? Like Hasan is still fighting out things to this day currently of things that Ethan has done and said that have been horrific. You know what I mean? I think Hasan is more tapped in than Sam is. Right? But like you need to have like a degree. You need to have a degree in like Ethan Klein, 101 in order to, properly combat this. Who do you think would be better to talk to Ethan? I think Banapanada is not the best person because he has too many avenues of attack, honestly. Like Ethan can just dismiss him as being insane and he wouldn't be incorrect. You know what I mean? So that's the issue. Is that like normies will side or could side with Ethan. Definitely would, bro. Stop. I think you're stupid, Chatter. I'm gonna be real. Like he does not have the normie vote. I'm gonna be real. He doesn't. He doesn't. Like he Ethan can bring up the fact that like, oh, he played this hunting down secretary game and it makes my wife feel unsafe, and he can get normies to agree with him. But I'm not as insane as if he's talking, but he is insane. He's crazy. I'm not even saying it as a negative. I'm saying it to describe what he is. Right? You have to understand based in reality, chat. You have to operate based in the world that we're living in now. Current modern day reality, this timeline. He's insane. And that's chill, and that's cool, and that's useful in a lot of aspects, right? It is. But it is also a turnoff to normies. Right? Bada Banana is good for y'all, but it's not good for like the normal populace. I think you're not getting his jokes. Chatter, you're stupid. Normies are not going to get his jokes. That's the issue. I don't give a fuck about Bad Banana's jokes. I don't give a fuck about Bad Banana. Normies are not going to like him. That's the entire point. You're so hopped up on your snark brain that you're not understanding reality. That's it. That's it. I'm not even saying that he would be a bad debater. I'm not even saying that he wouldn't take the debate seriously. I'm talking purely about how it's going to be perceived from the people who are actually going to be watching it. You're too invested in this space that you need to leave your house 10 seconds. Would the people who just became aware of this entire thing from the content cop side with Bad Banana? No, that's the answer. The answer is no. The answer is no. No, they would not. Right? Would he do a good takedown of Ethan? Yes. I do believe that he would do a very comprehensive and thorough takedown of Ethan. Yes, I do believe that. He's very well read and he's very aware of what what Ethan Klein has been saying for the past 2 years. Right? But all Ethan has to do is cry about being attacked and harassed by a stalker. Like, Ethan claimed that, like, Denims called CPS on him and people believed him. Phil DeFranco made a video that basically said that Denims in her community called CPS on him. You're just giving him an out to victimize himself, essentially. It'd be very easy to turn the normie Phil DeFranco audience into being on Ethan's side. Like, and this isn't even a crazy take. Honestly, Bad Banana was being an edgelord, fucking bringing up the truth, and Ritz and Denham's watching Ethan talk about his kids eating poo for 20 minutes in the tier. Liz poking a deranged narcissist would be all easily avoidable shit, and people being useful idiots. Even anybody with over an IQ of 50 can figure it out. Majority of Westerners don't have an IQ under 50. No, I think that's stupid, right? Like, I don't think, like, you can't put the tier list on the same level of, like, Bad and Banana or whatever. Who cares what normies thinks? The entire world, honestly. Like, that's the point. Like, if you want to stay in your hug box and your Ethan Klein snark subreddit chat, go for it. If you want to keep crying about Ethan Klein for the next 5 years, as he stays at 20,000 average viewers, right? And normies, like, you know, are just like, man, they hate each other or whatever. I don't think normies care about Ethan Klein. No, they do after the content cop. And you need to convert those people who are now tuning in after the content cop into understanding why Ethan Klein is bad, right? People who are like, okay, well, I know Ian. Why did he bring content cop back for Ethan? And you need to, they're currently right now tuned in to what's happening here, right? But if they jump too far, right? If they jump too far, what is this extremely online? This is only extremely online people care about, in my opinion. You're wrong. The content cop has like 7 million views. We've expanded beyond just niche internet drama after the content cop. There's 6.4 million views in a week. And while, yes, it's online, right? It's not niche. I got a freaking article written about me because I appeared in it. People are talking about this. People want to know, why is iDubbbz beefing with Ethan Klein? That is what people want to know. Was Ethan shit slinging has reached normie audiences? Yeah. Normie audiences are talking about like the crash out or whatever. Chris Kunstler is a good pick because he's correct taste, has no precedent as an apparent unhinged guy. But if I recall correctly, he's just following on TikTok. Yes, the only issue is that he's not large enough. That's the only issue. I don't think like Sam is a bad choice. Sam has a comparable audience to Ethan. Right? Like Sam is a personality in its own right, and Sam is somebody that normies can identify with, especially after going on Jubilee and being the normie liberal Jubilee old man. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares about what normies think about the drama? True, but the drama is based in politics, so it's mega important, especially when Ethan's drama leads to major progressive content creators deplatformed, which leads normies to be able to tune into right-wing Israeli supporting creators. I think folks need to come to grips with is Bad Panada is not an inside topic. His content is for people. Is an inside topic. His content for people who get it. He's not for the outside. It is purposefully not supposed to be digestible for the layman. Yeah. Right. And so it's hard to explain who I think will be like a better pick than Sam. I think Sam is like, is a good pick. I think like Bad Bananas also is not a terrible pick. He just has his own separate issues for why he's not like the best pick. You know what I mean? I think same thing with Mike. I feel like Mike would be a good pick as well. But it's like there's also things that hold him back from being like the perfect pick. He's smaller than Ethan is, so people can just claim that he's like clout chasing. You feel me? So that's something you have to think about. You have to consider, which is like the same. Like I don't think I'm a good pick because I don't think I'm a good debater. You feel me? Also, like I don't care. 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 Like if you're gonna, I don't care to engage with the Bad Panada Defense Brigade. You can like and enjoy whatever content creators you want to like and enjoy, incongruent with my content, but like I do not care enough to defend Bad Panada. I don't. I genuinely like. I give you my takes about how I think he's useful and the things that I don't think are pretty useful that he does, right? But this is not a space for you to be like, come on, guys, you have to love Bad Panada or you're not a real leftist or whatever. I don't care. I do not care. See, this is the problem and why people don't engage with Bad Panada and people who stand Bad Panada, because you're not normal. Like being less normal than Bad Panada is crazy, but you have fallen into that. You have become less normal than Bad Panada. And this is why nobody wants to engage with Bad Panada. I'm trying to not be normal, just gotta acknowledge it. Yeah. Like, I don't think Bad Panada would do well if you look at his debate with D. He could be normal and concise if he wants to be. The issue is that nobody will ever debate him because he's insane he's as insane as Ethan is without the cult audience. Again, I'm not saying that he would be a bad debater. You feel me? I acknowledge that I think he would do well in the debate, right? But the issue is not just the debate. It's not just the video that the debate is on. It's everything that follows, right? And I bring this up because Ethan was able to bully Stans into deleting his video because Stans referenced Bad Panada, right? He's normally repellent. He is, right? Because Ethan can very easily spin it as like Bad Panada is a creator that's been harassing me, and like he's a stalker of mine. And you are also a creator. You have stalkers too, and other creators will identify with that, right? They'll identify with that. They're like, oh yeah, I have my own stalkers. I hate that Ethan's dealing. It's like the CPS thing. You feel me? With creators identifying, right? Identifying with Ethan and like having stalkers or having CPS called on them. And that's the point. You know what I mean? If Bad Up and I would highlight Ethan's stalk at the same time, it wouldn't matter. That's the thing. It wouldn't matter though. Because again, once the stream ends and the debate ends, right? The truth is, it's still 20,000 people are going to be watching Ethan Klein streams and tuning into what Ethan Klein is saying. And 1,000 people are going to be watching Bad Up and Out streams. He just has a smaller audience. And so normies are going to be more likely to listen to what Ethan says after the debate than going to see what Bad Up and Out says about Ethan after the debate. That's just the case. Right? It's just the case. Like he gets to guide the narrative because he's the larger creator. You feel me? He is. He gets to go on his own stream afterwards and cry being the victim and say he's being harassed and he's being stalked and that Bana Bananas called CPS on him and sent the skulls to his house. And then the creators aren't going to see Bana Banana and like contextualize Bana Banana saying that he did call CPS as a joke or whatever. Right? They're gonna be like, oh, I don't know if I want to be around that person, and they're not gonna engage with Bad Up Banana, right? And it doesn't help because Bad Up Banana is a troll, and he will troll a little bit too close to the sun. He's like Icarus, right? He'll troll a little bit too close to the sun. He will say, yes, Ethan, I did call CPS on you. Did he actually? Probably not. Will normies care? No. They're gonna see somebody who's saying that he called CPS and that it's a good thing that CPS came. And they're going to be like, I don't want to engage with that person. Right? They're going to see Ethan Klein saying that skulls were sent to my house. Right? And you're going to see Bada Banana saying, yes, I did that. And they're going to be like, I don't know if I want to engage with that person. That's what's going to happen. It's obvious trolling, but it doesn't matter. Right? Because as a creator, you don't even want trolls like that. And you are going to more closely align with Ethan because you know that you have trolls like that. I have trolls like that. I have reply guys that come under my tweets who say in crazy unhinged shit. You feel me? And so as a normie creator who is not tapped into what's going on, you are going to be more likely to align with Ethan Klein victimizing himself when the opponent is like saying, yeah, I called CBS on Ethan and it was a good thing. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not even saying that Bana Bananas is like a bad debater or that he wouldn't do well in the debate. I am just explaining, right, the reality that we live in. And this is the reality that we live in. Right? And so I think it would be funny if Bana Banana did debate Ethan. I think it would be humorous. It would be good content, right? But you have to take that alongside the fact that it may make the anti-Ethan Klein side look as unhinged as Bad Up Banana is. You know what I mean? And if you're fine with that, that's chill. You can have that take. I'm not disagreeing with you. Right? But that is the case. Does that make sense? Did I explain this, at least relatively well? I feel like Sam is the normie we need. For Ethan, just my feelings. As a Bad Up Banana enjoyer, you're completely right. I know Bad Up Banana is normie repellent, but at the same time, isn't he the only one crazy enough to inherit Ethan's audience? No. You think Ethan's audience is gonna go to Bad Up Banana? That's just not happening. Does I think he'll wiggle out of talking to Sam anyway? Maybe. I mean, there's a reason Ethan doesn't engage with more educated voices and shifts more interpersonal shit all the time. Got to counter on that on its merits. Sam should make a rule that every drama mentioned in the debate, Ethan donates money. Nah, I think if Sam adds conditions, Ethan will that gives Ethan a chance to wiggle out, right? So currently, the current state that we're in is Ethan Klein has agreed to the debate with Sam, right? Or to talk to Sam, even though Sam hasn't formally challenged him, right? But if if Sam adds conditions like that, it gives Ethan a reason to pull out. You feel me? Be like, oh, I didn't agree to this. I'm stopping the debate. In other words, Ethan's audience would migrate to Bad Apanada. It's too sharp of a political term. Ethan is not progressive at all. Yeah. I don't know what a gadfly is. Bad Apanada's a gadfly. Let him gadfly in his space like Ethan crash out against normie like Sam to highlight the dissent. Sam has already addressed the moniker stuff. Oh, I missed that. The producers on Majority Report will probably fill Sam in on the other stuff. I missed the addressing. He did that with Hasan. He said, I'll debate Hasan. Hasan won't do it. And then when Hasan says he agrees, he's like, well, he hasn't even watched the content yet. But personally, I think he's trying to look tough. I mean, I don't know. But we'll actually, we'll get to the Hasan part in a second. Right now, we're talking about Sam. Gadfly is like he takes advantage of the situation and hovers around. Oh, well, that's not entirely wrong, right? But again, I do think that there's a usefulness of Bad Apanada in the space, right? I think people forget the point isn't to win over his audience. Sam was recommended to repair the fractured relationship stemming from genocide. Sam is there to educate Ethan on his flawed logic. Yeah. And the only thing that I think really is up in the air is how well Sam is briefed on the entire situation. Because the important part is not just being briefed about the interpersonal drama, but just knowing that it exists, so you know what Ethan's trying to do when he drifts away from it, right? Like if Ethan Klein says, "Look, Sam, as a Jew, you know that Sabra means somebody that loves Jewish people, or is another name for a Jewish person born in Israel or something like that." I don't know, right? And so Sam being aware enough to know that that's a redirection to talking about like Hummusgate and stuff like that is it's relatively important, right? So like he doesn't like, engage with that, and then it goes down, the like anti Jewish tier list that a bunch of Arab creators did and why they deserve. You know what I mean? Like just knowing, being aware enough that what Ethan Klein is trying to do is redirect the conversation to like drama stuff. It's kind of my worry. Right? I don't know how aware he is or can be for this discussion. You know what I mean?
Finally, have a clash of the Jewish minds. Two great Jewish minds, mano y mano.
Is it a clash? What happened?
I don't think it'll be a clash at all. I sent him an email. I was like, hey, Sam, there's a lot of like silly nonsense going around. I think it's time we just jump on a call or whatever. I have his email address from when the Crowder stuff happened. Mm-hmm. And I wrote him, and he wrote me back a very nice email. And he said he's busy with family stuff, and he'll write me back after Thursday. So that is happening. Now, by the way, I already saw.
Wait, okay. So the date's not even set yet. It says he's writing back after today. So why can't he talk to Hasan? Why must the Sam conversation happen first? If he agreed to debate Sam and he agreed to debate Hasan, then, and this one's not even scheduled. Like, what's the holdup?
Hasan comment on this. Someone was like, hey, Ethan's actually going to talk to Sam Seder. And he's like, oh, well, he's probably just going to lie to him about his position. I'm like, bro, what do you want from me, man?
You guys could have a shofar off. You know?
Just who could toot it the hardest?
Yeah, that'd be pretty epic.
Blow each other.
We could blow each other.
Shaka Shuri blowdown.
The great Jewish tradition of blowing each other. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, interesting. I will. I'm eager to hear more.
Yeah, I'm look forward to talking to them. I think unlike Hasan, I am willing to face anyone, talk about anything. I have nothing to hide. I'm extraordinarily honest,
Hasan
and unlike Hasan,
until today. Also in Bad Apanada.
who is the opposite, I think things will become clearer and clearer as time moves on about who is the dishonest, bad faith actor in this and who is the righteous, correct, honest, truthful.
I think he's correct about this, but I don't think he's on the right side. I don't think he knows what side he's on, right? Even like outside of just like inter-creator drama, like just being pro-Israel is not going to be the correct side. Noah Samson is another one who I think would be good. I think Noah Samson would also be good. But again, the issue is that like in the normie perspective, he's like not as well respected as like Sam Seder is very respected in like normie liberal spaces. Right? He talked about how he voted for Kamala as the lesser of two evils. He went on Jubilee and debated a bunch of freaking Trump supporters or whatever. Like, I think he has less avenues of attack because he shares an overlap with Ethan's identity. I think there's a usefulness in debating Sam. The only issue is that Sam was not as up to date in the drama stuff as Noah is. Noah is a lot more up to date in the drama stuff, so he can understand and you know deflect away from the drama stuff. I think a little bit better than Sam could, and he's not as normally repulsive as Bad Panada is. But I do think Bad Panada, I think it would be more well read directly on like the history of Palestine and historical Zionism. And so on that lens, I think Bad Panada kind of hasn't beat. But yeah. I know his producer. We'll talk to him about it. We have this tweet open here. Also, Matt follows me, so like, friend of the show. But again, you need like a degree to learn all the intricacies of this. You feel me? And so I don't know how much they could tell Sam to be aware of in this discussion. What about Chris? Chris is too small. Because you also want to avoid getting in a situation where somebody doesn't have their own platform where they can like adequately push back against Ethan on. Look, imagine in this discussion with whoever it is, Ethan Klein buttons, right? I think having a platform where you can like combat what was buttoned there, why he buttoned, and doing like the post-debate autopsy is almost as important as the debate itself, right? And you need somebody who has their own established audience and platform to propel the post-debate autopsy out to more people so that you can see their side, right? And I think Sam has that with the Majority Report and having the Majority Report talking about what happened in the debate so that more people and normies who saw the debate can see that side of it. It's a little bit harder to do with somebody like Chris, who has a smaller platform, or like myself, who has a smaller platform, or like Bad Panada, who is a little bit normally repellent. Noah has an audience where he can do that, but again, I don't know how I don't know. Noah's not a bad choice, actually, now that I think about it. Look at how Sam has looked post debates. He's already done. You think Sam will bring up coming after Emma, Matt, the Majority Report crew? Probably not. Which is like kind of another like, you know, not a mark against Sam, but he would keep it more topical. So if Ethan is like, this debate topic is on Israel Palestine, Sam would most likely keep it to the topic of the debate, as opposed to like getting into like the intricacies of like Ethan Klein's behaviors and other aspects and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like when PA would work in my opinion. Now that I think about it, he has the sizes there, pretty approachable, and has knowledge. Yes, the only thing that I would push back on is anybody that Ethan Klein has attacked from the jump, like Denims, myself, not myself, I'm putting myself in there because, like, yeah, I'm a part of this. Denims, Frogan, Mike, is that there's already a plethora of things that, like, Ethan has said that they can attach to. You feel me? Which is kind of an issue.
King_Stacker25 just subscribed.
You know what I mean? Making me an asshole, but that's fine. That's chill. I think that's necessary. I think same with Bad Up and Out. Like, I think Mike could hold it down if he needs to. You feel me? Like if he feels like it's more productive to strike on merits, I think Mike could do it. But again, I think he also same with Noah, also loses like the identity buff. Like Sam has the identity buff. I might be honest, but I see a problem for winning normies. You don't want the problem is you don't want somebody who's like watch the Content Cop, seeing this debate happen, Googling the person who the debate is on and getting a plethora of like LSF posts. That's kind of what you want to avoid. You know what I mean? But I think that like Denims loses, Mike loses. I don't think Noah has like, you know, a plethora of LSF posts in that way. But a lot of like the Twitch sphere kind of loses that because you don't want normies to be like, oh, they say all these things too, and then turns off. Hasan's a lot of LSF posts. Yeah, but Hasan is large enough where he gets over that boost, you know? Hasan's has the name recognition that most people already know about Hasan. Where like, if it was Mike, there would be a lot of people who are just finding out about Mike or Denims and then getting a bunch of LSF hate threads about the things that they've said. And that's kind of what you want to avoid. I think the hardest part is having a normie palatable while being knowledgeable and in tune with what's up. Yeah, it's very difficult. Which is why there's no perfect candidate for this, right? We're all kind of like spitballing about who would be better, but everybody has their pros and cons of why they would be good for this discussion, or why there may be somebody better for the discussion. You know, this person is Chris Kunzler, hands down. He's quick and to the point and loud. Again, but like I do agree, but he's more normally approachable than Bad Up is. He's knowledgeable on the topic, but he just doesn't have the size. Too British. I don't think he has the size, and it would feel like he's like uninvolved, right? It would be like me debating Ethan, right? Doesn't Chris have a following on TikTok? TikTok following doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like it's just it would feel like, why is this person here? Kind of thing, right? That's kind of the downside to that. What about Matt Lieb? I don't hate Matt Lieb, actually. I think under Sam, I think Matt Lieb is probably my second pick. That's a sleeper pick, actually. I didn't think about it. Yeah. I think Matt would work a lot better than a lot of the other choices for Daniel Mate. I think Daniel's a bit less involved, so I wouldn't hit the same. But Matt is directly involved. I think he would be stricter on Ethan than Sam would be. I like Matt. I like Matt, actually. I think Matt may hit a little bit more than Sam because Matt does know the lore. Matt does know the lore, and so he can avoid the traps. The only issue is the same thing. It's just about like Ethan's gonna bring up, oh, he knows Bana Banana or whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, he knows Bana Banana. And so like, you know, how much that will hit with normies, I don't know. But like, I think that's a very good choice. It's a very good choice. See Matt's funny video? I saw it. We should look at it. Ooh, I like, okay. The more that I think about it, the more I like Matt Lieb as the choice, as the pick. Like if we were nominating our champion for the anti-Ethan Klein side, I think Matt would get my nomination. I think Matt would get my nomination. Looks like a stretched out Ethan. Chill. Champion tier list all. Ooh, we should do a tier list. Okay. Okay, should we do a tier list? That's good. That's good. That okay. Okay. Let's do it. All right. We basically talked most of it out. We finished last year. We have not finished the last tier list. No, do a public tier list. Why not? Ethan Klein debater tier list. Debater. It's with an E. Debater. It's streaming at YouTube. No, it's YouTube and streaming, isn't it? Yeah. All right, I need a cover photo. Wait, actually, you know what? I have a cover photo, don't I? Pictures. YouTube. I probably can't use this as my cover photo. Now that I think about it. That probably won't fly. And why not? You know what? Sure. All right. We need images. We'll do the thing where we create a new folder and we say debater. All right. I debate champion. Boom. All right, let's do. Who should the first person be? We'll start with Sam Seder. I just look so confused here. This is a good one. All right. We have Sam Seder. Hasan, obviously. Keep on lies. Say your goodbyes. You're not looking at me, boy. Noah Samson. Deadums. Is the ranking based on entertainment value or persuasiveness for third parties? All encompassing. You have a wild one in here? Is it tier list of races? I think they're joking. I think they're memeing. I don't think they're being serious about doing a tier list of races. I told Raph he's saying T-Pain with the audio mic better than you, and bro said the most goofy response. What? That's crazy. Why would you lie to him like that? Norm Finkelstein? Sure. He also looks confused. We're using this picture because it's funny. Stuyvesant's a good one? Sure. I gotta be careful about what I search about Stavi on main. No, but we had sure. No, actually, we'll add Dan. Dan, the producer. He actually came up. Okay. Okay, that's kind of all we need to begin, and then we can chat and send people as we continue on. Number S tier, Master Debator. A tier, knowledgeable and informative. Okay, what should B tier be? I think C tier should be for the memes. And then D tier is like definitely not. I can't spell. How do you spell definitely? Oh, definitively. Definitively. Not like that. Chill. Chill. Okay. Actually, you know what? Okay, we're gonna pull up for the memes. We're gonna pull up definitely not, or we'll say okay, not for the normies, and then we'll say would lose. If someone says a slur. Okay. Master debater, knowledgeable and informative for the memes, not for the normies. Would lose. Trying to put us, we could take them. I'm not putting chat. You could not take them. Submit. Actually, maybe I'll add one more row at the bottom and say, oops, in this row. Would agree with Ethan. All right. How would Ethan Klein from the past defending PewDiePie hold up against debating Ethan Klein current day? For the memes, honestly, I'd probably put him like B tier for the memes. Bradley Martin. Okay, chat. Okay. Now that we started the tier list, now just send pictures. No more names, just send pictures. Send a link to a picture and I'll add the person if I want to. Let's start with person number 1. And that is Sam Seder. I think I would put Sam Seder in either S tier or A tier, right? Because again, I think the issue is just how much he's prepped for the debate, right? In that if he's going at it as though he is, it's like a good faith discussion and expecting Ethan to be good faith, I think he can fall into some traps. That's my only issue. That's my only issue. And so I think actually, you know what? I think the ampersand is actually better, so it's not cutting off the words. Never mind, it's still cut off. I do this. Okay, no, it's not. Okay. Oh, I think Sam might capitulate on 1 or 2 framings of Ethan's, especially with the CPS and Skulls thing. Yeah. Okay, chat. You have to send the name of the person when you send the link. I'm not gonna click on a random link with no name on it. So I'll put Sam in knowledgeable and informative. I think it'll be an informative discussion. I think Sam is knowledgeable, but I don't think it'll like end Ethan Klein's career. You said no names, only pictures. Well, names and pictures. No more just names. Gosh darn it. I'm not putting like this guy. I'm serious. I'm doing on Twitch panel. Oh, okay? He wasn't trolling. Never mind. he actually thinks the Twitch panel was like a thing of races. I don't know who this is. No offense to Trixie Mattel. We're using this picture instead. Twitch chat. Sure. I'll add Twitch chat. Nandre, sure. I'll put Nandre. Kaya. Norm's already on here. Kaya S tier. Here, let me think. Who's next? Let's do Matt Lieb next. Just because those are all the people that I've already talked about. And that is Matt Lieb. I think Matt Lieb is S tier pick, honestly. I think Matt Lieb is an S tier pick. I think it's actually the pick that I would choose if I had to choose a champion to go up after Ethan. He's attacked Matt Lieb specifically. Matt Lieb, also Jewish, anti-Zionist, knowledgeable on Israel Palestine, but also knowledgeable about the state of the drama. And so I would put like Matt Lieb and Sam Seder at the same level. Why is Matt S tier? You said sorry, so I'll let it go. Where's that chatter? They said they apologized. I do want to point out the fact that I was literally in the process of describing it. Yeah, so like Matt Lieb and Sam Seder are like the same level of like good for me, but Matt Lieb just knows more about the drama intricately. And I think can debate about what Ethan Klein will bring up, drama related, in a better way than I think Sam can, because Sam is just not as tapped into the drama. You know what I mean? That's why Matt Lieb is S tier. I need Bloodsport. Let's do okay. Who should go next? Let's do Bill Burr. I'm gonna put Bill Burr in S tier. I'm putting Bill Burr in S tier just because you would think it would be for the memes, right? But just because I think Bill Burr would be so ruthless to Ethan that like you can't even start to talk to Bill Burr about like the drama and stuff, but he'll just like be mean to Ethan. And I think that would be funny, right? And so like Master Debater like goes into like, I think this person will like end Ethan Klein's career essentially. And like Bill Burr already did it once, and I think he'll spin the block back for round 2. Right? And it'll make Ethan sad because he respects Bill Burr. S tier in the destruction of ideological fallacies. True. S tier can make Ethan cry. A tier is reasonable. Yeah. Yeah. Can this person make Ethan cry? On top of other things. Not just can they make Ethan cry. But just in that, like, do I think that they will avoid traps that Ethan Klein will set? Do I think that normies will find the debate appealing and will side with the contender opposed to Ethan? That sort of thing. Right? That's a good picture of Mark. Never mind, it cuts off his head. Well. Where the Odyssey makes a pager joke. Ethan Klein? Pretty low. I don't think he cares enough about the pagers to make a joke. I had Matt Leck. Leck? I mean, I could. I don't know. This is not Matt. This is a picture of Vila Klein. He didn't love the pagers though. Yeah, he hasn't brought it up a lot though. So I did get poop sucked. I was sucked of my poop. Northern Lion? Sure. But yeah. Let's go. We'll go Noah Samson next. Noah Samson. I think I will put Noah Samson in A tier.
Ben Fish gifted a tier 1 sub to Maya_Claire. They have given
no, I think Noah could
gift subs in the channel.
I think Noah could do very well in the debate. And I think that whatever Ethan has on Noah doesn't really sit. Like, all he has on Noah is that he thinks Noah defamed him by saying that he's pro-genocide. Right? And so I don't think normies will find that repulsive. Right? Noah's a good-sized YouTube channel. Approaching a milli. I think he's the highest B tier. I don't think Noah has the juice to debate. No, I think Noah has the intricate knowledge to debate. We're gonna drop the response video. I don't believe that. Noah isn't a debater. I think he would have a good conversation. Yeah. Look at this. I need another picture of Mark as well. Sure. She did? She did though? No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Okay.
Hi, my name is Frogan, and
hi, Frogan.
This is the first time I'm ever making a solo YouTube video about everything that has happened the last year and a half. I address everything on my podcast, Arabs, which you can find the link below, but today it's just going to be you and I. I think the content
and chat. Say hi, chat. Can we get a hi, Frogan, in chat? That's right. I have like 600 stalkers here watching this. Put Cutie for the girly pop nation. I'm not putting Cutie on this tier list. That feels disrespectful to Cutie.
That was great. You know, I feel like Ian approached it in a way that nobody else does.
Oh, sorry, what about?
I think the content cop was great. Today, it's just going to be you and I. I think the content cop was great. You know, I feel like Ian approached it in a way that nobody else does. He approached it with empathy, and, you know, it was supposed to make people feel bad for Ethan. One of the main things, especially as content creators, people tend to dehumanize us and forget that we're living normal people just like you. So obviously, with so much pressure on the internet, both on myself, and I'm sure Ethan can relate to this too, it's fucking hell. It's hard to manage. It's hard to deal with. So I feel like Ian approached it in a way that was more so holding a friend accountable and in a softer way, and wanted to generate empathy for Ethan. Other people don't do that. And I've even said this before. I feel like we need to stick to the basics as to why Ethan Klein deserves to be criticized, and that is for being pro-Israel and trying to deplatform pro-Palestinian content creators.
True.
I think it's insane to involve his children and anybody else that really doesn't deserve the criticism. I think Kayla deserves the criticism as well, too, because she says some batshit crazy things on the podcast as well.
True.
And I've said this, and I'll say it again. If you're spewing pro-Israel propaganda, I'm going to call you out about it.
True.
I received a text asking to say something nice about Ethan, and to be honest, I thought about it long and hard because I was like, this man does not deserve anything nice from me. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. Maybe it'll give me some closure. So I wrote a letter to Ethan, and I read it off, and iDubbbz put it in the video, and this was Ethan's reaction to the video.
I bet you would.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports for good that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You were one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
I think. Listen, Rogan, she's so dumb that you almost can't be even mad at her.
She did wish us the best in the end. It almost felt like the nicest one of them all.
I think she was the only one being
I was
genuine.
nice in mine. What? I was very nice in mine. I said that it's good that you started this journey and you left the anti-SJW pipeline. For you, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. You know what? Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Actually. So I
Yeah,
don't want to.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, did you want me to lie? Did you want me to lie? I didn't lie. I told my whole truth. She's really brave for even making this. If I was her, I would have split to an unnamed country and deleted the internet presence a long time ago. True.
Whatever.
Skip, to be honest? What do you mean? Skip what? Oh, this is actually this is a good meme though. This is a good picture of me. Should I look more like Sean the Whack? I've heard that one before. You got everything from me, you don't even know who you are. Also, I love that like they made Ethan purple. This is gonna make them so mad. This is gonna make them so mad, but this is the reason why I'm doing it. I guess so. Bro, why is the H3 subreddit so obsessed with me? This, chat, is how you farm. This is how you farm. Now they're making their ad things gold. I'm not clicking your promote button, Twitter. You know what to do. Twitter's gonna have a field day. Until I thought the Mount Rushmore. That I was Mount Rushmore and decided to make Ethan purple for no reason. That's so funny. Yeah. I wonder if my tweet got to at least 10,000. It did. Won't somebody think of the empty card got 11,000 likes? I will say, I'm a pretty good poster. I'm a pretty decent Twitter poster. I'll say it. I know it gets likes. Sorry, let's continue.
Frogan, just chill, okay? Just stop being an idiot and I'll stop talking about you. It's really simple math.
She's also by far the smallest creator of the bunch.
Right.
Also, that's not even true. Like... Me and Frogan are like comparable sizes. Okay, wait, no, they're not talking about me because they don't know who I am. I keep forgetting that they just don't know who I am.
Cool that he included her. Like, she's just gonna get more shit for being involved.
It's not cool.
And like, it's not. It's
he knows what like this entails.
This part made me laugh because it was very tone deaf, And he's acting like half of his content nuke wasn't about me. Half of the content nuke, the entire ending half, was about me. So if I'm so irrelevant and so uncool to include, why the fuck was I in your goddamn video?
Like Hasan can handle it, but like Frogan's now just going to get a pile of shit on top of her that I have no control over because people are watching. Millions of people are watching his video, by the way, and they're reacting.
So by his own admission, he had control over the harassment that she got after the content nuke because he put her in there.
To it. And they're not having good reactions
Not
to it.
just our audience.
Far from our own, bro, yeah.
I think it's funny that you think me being in the iDubbbz video is what's going to cause this harassment. When in reality, it's you, Ethan. You're acting like you haven't spent the last year and a half doing everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a joke about you not being able to say Habibi. But no, it's iDubbbz, one of the only major creators besides Hasan who has actually defended me publicly in the last few months.
True.
This next section is about the double standards of Ethan's thinking. Let's get started with this clip.
Personally, though, and I've seen Hasan do this before, is he's accused me of it. He goes, "Oh, you're just
Wasn't that
you
just a call to action? Call to action, to be honest. What do you mean?
Muslims." It's like, bro, can you actually just can you actually please just respond to a real argument? Like, please, bro. You know, he just like you can't just sweep everything away by saying that. It's just not right. Are people very cruel to her? Yeah, for sure. You know, it's just
Call to action to harass her. I mean, yeah, it's true. Gonna turn Frogan's 12-minute video into a 4-hour react with a pause every 3 seconds? Nah, he won't. It'll be like 30 minutes. He's gonna be like, you asked for it. You made me do this. Look at what you made me do. You made me send my audience to harass you. And actually, it wasn't even just my audience who harassed you. It was other audiences because of the things you said. Stuff like that.
I don't know how to explain this to you, Ethan, because this is something you claim all the time, but some people are actually
If he watches it at all.
Ethan claims people are mean to him all the time because they're racist, using his religion as a shield to criticism, as he claims people are doing to me. A lot of the comments I get are about me being a hijabi and me being Muslim, so no. People are not more charitable to me because I wear the hijab, and I wish that was the case.
I have never. They accuse me of doing it. They go, "Oh, Ethan's just targeting Arab and Muslim creators." It's like I have never one time mentioned her hijabi or brought anyone's fucking identity into my criticism of them.
You haven't said anything about me being Muslim directly, but your ideas about Muslims are pretty obvious from what you say. Here are a few of many examples.
Why don't you just make it easier? Why don't you just fly to ISIS and do them a favor and just let them, you know, just serve yourself on a platter for them because you deserve it. Like, I think per capita, a lot of the weird
Turn the video up.
terrorism.
I feel like it got quiet. It's as high as it can go. Maybe I can do this.
And crimes and
Look at this.
shit. I mean, there's definitely some strong thread of violence through the Muslim community, or Arab Muslims to be more specific.
Or
The next thing I want to bring up are the double standards
that sounded like a friend of the show, Karma Casey.
both Ethan and Gila have for themselves. Let's get started with this clip.
We misspoke. It didn't sound good. We immediately corrected ourselves. You know, that's how mature people do. That's how how you're supposed to handle yourself, isn't it? Like, what more do you want me to do?
I have no problem apologizing and admitting and whatever is needed when things happen.
This was in response to people bringing up how Gila said Yoav Gallant was a great guy, even though he's literally a war criminal and pro-genocide. I'm a live streamer as well. I know being live for hours and hours on end, you can misspeak, and that is exactly what happened whenever I said the thing about the U.S. military. I said it in a way in which I didn't mean, and I also clarified it on Twitter by saying, the U.S. military has conducted some of the most horrific crimes against humanity in the modern era in countries such as Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine. My anger is directed at individuals who are currently championing these war crimes as if they liberated my people. It's horrific and disgusting. The beginning of the clip was worded poorly, and I do apologize for that. I go on to clarify in the clip that I do not mean all military, but specifically those with no remorse. What I said was out of frustration as they are currently bombing my family in the name of liberation. I realize that wishing people harm isn't the best way to talk about these issues and that I could have talked about these topics in a more sensitive way. And like I said initially, I'm not granted that charitability at all.
I want to explain it because people bring it up nonstop. I apologize for it right away when Ethan made a video to address this.
Which she didn't do, by the way.
On his Ethan Klein channel.
Next day, I think
made a quick appearance in that video just to say, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I shouldn't have called him a really good guy. Like, I don't know why I said it like that.
What more do you want from me? I did the same exact thing. Now we're moving on to the infamous button. So,
which I want to point out, she did not apologize. There's no word in the video that she said, I'm sorry, or that she apologized. She just said, I didn't know. How could you hold that against me? Also, she said she misspoke.
So during
Not,
the react to the content cop,
ready to get the apology? 2.
AB started talking and the button was pushed. Here's the clip.
Authorities block healthcare to Gaza. Again, I'm not. Do you think that I'm?
Ferguson should have mentioned then and brought up Twitter terrorists. She brought up the screenshot of Twitter terrorists earlier.
Talking about walking around Gaza? When I say how great multicultural it is,
we
did you think that
how Israel attacked Gaza since October 7th? Not even once. We never co-signed what they did.
Is that not the point he's making though?
What?
That you're talking about how nice Israel is, but
Israel proper is different from Gaza.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Millions right now, say
Muslims in Israel.
I guess that's where the.
And that's the end of the clip because the button.
Rest in peace, AB. And he never came back again. I think he left the podcast or something. I don't know. I haven't seen him since.
It was pushed.
I'm not going to check.
Anytime any member of the crew gives Ethan any type of pushback, the button is pushed. And he wants to say that I'm surrounded by yes men and people can never criticize me when he doesn't allow his staff that are part of the show to give him any critique or pushback whatsoever. During the live show today, some of the crew defended me and I appreciate it so much. And during this episode, AB mentioned that the most recent time we talked, him and I had a disagreement.
People are saying stop being friends with her. You guys don't know fucking shit. I have not talked to her in forever. And the last time we did talk, we had a disagreement. Like where is this coming from? Like I don't understand.
This disagreement was a DM I sent him, which stated, "Hey AB, I wanted to reach out privately because responding publicly and adding to the dog pile doesn't feel right. I understand that people often overlook how tough the job market is, and I get that working for Ethan puts you in a complicated position. That said, I think what pushed people over the edge was a clip of you baiting pro-Palestinian people and blocking them. The criticism you're receiving is largely because people believe you're better than that and don't subscribe to Ethan's views. I know you've been vocal about Palestine, but I think it's important to explicitly clarify that you don't share his beliefs and that you stand on your own. Ethan is not worth the bullshit you have to deal with working for him. Honestly, there have been times where I felt anger towards you, but after some reflection, I wanted to approach you directly. I'm saying this as someone who was personally impacted by Ethan and as a cousin. I hope you understand where I'm coming from." AB didn't respond, and that's perfectly fine. I didn't expect him to.
Wait, he didn't respond?
I just wanted to get my...
Oh, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. The disagreement is that she sent a very heartwarming like message as like a bridge to reach out, and he just doesn't respond.
Feelings out. Although AB and I haven't talked in a long time, he's still somebody I care about. You know what I mean? He's like a cousin. You know, we have that bond. We're both from Dearborn, so it's like we're literally cousins. Not literally, but I don't know AB's motivations or what he feels because I'm on the outside at this point. So I am just giving my perspective from somebody on the outside. I will say the invalid points of criticism towards AB is trying to question him as an Arab, which is completely fucked up and wrong. Nobody should do that, you know? It is valid to criticize him for still working for Ethan and being silent for as long as he was. Those are valid points of criticism. But don't try to take away his Arabness because you don't agree with him. Whenever AB started streaming...
That's why I don't do it, you know what I mean? Again, if you are Arab yourself, if you're Lebanese, I'm not going to sit here and say what you can and can't say about AB. But I'm not going to engage in like that invalidation because I'm not a part of that community. And I'm not going to make that distinction. The same way that like non-black people shouldn't, you know, talk about who's black and who's not black. It's not for you to say.
On Twitch, I was the first person to raid him, and I even helped him whenever he asked me for advice on what to stream. AB has also helped me in many ways as well. Even a long time ago, AB included me in an H3 episode talking about why people should visit Dearborn. Here's a screenshot. It's from like 2023, I believe. He was also super, super supportive whenever I was nominated and won the Streamer Award.
Right, and the award goes to Chala. Chala. Frozen.
Frozen.
You did it! You did it, sister!
And to be quite honest, like watching this clip back made me really, really sad because of basically the outcome of what this has become.
I still think he can be saved. I hope this is a turning point for him. AB, you can be saved. Come to the good side. Come to the good side. You're so hopeful. I think this is like literally like content cop AB a little bit. You know what I mean? This is content cop AB. You feel me? This is Frogan doing the outreach, extending the hand, and he can decide to take it or not. Now, if he doesn't take it from this, right? If he doesn't take it from this, I don't think he's ever going to take it, right? But I do think that this is an opportunity where he can take it, and I think it's possible, right? I think it's possible. He definitely can. If you don't think so, you should watch the content he makes on his own streams. It's almost always docs on Palestine and shit that directly counters Ethan's bullshit. He's too cloud driven and dedicated to Ethan. I mean, again, I'm not saying you're wrong, right? But I think it's a relatively uncharitable view, right? I think it's possible, right? And it will require work that he needs to do, right? But I don't see him as tied to the hip to Ethan as I see Dan or Zach,
G_TR0N
right?
just subscribed.
And again, maybe it's because I've talked to Frogan about like the AB and about the crew and the position that they're in, right? While I'm not friends with them specifically, my friends are friends with them, right? My friends are cool with them, right? So I'll offer a level of, charitability. What has he actually done to earn trust? I have, and as I said, but did you know about this video? I did not know about this video. I'm not pulling a content cop on you. I did not know this video was coming out. We made a video called Items Will Never Content Cop H3. I mean, yeah, that was like years ago though. I don't think it's indicative of anything. You know what I mean? His complicity right now and deserves some smoke, but yeah, he can 100% change. I also think that people don't give proper credence to the fact that he works for the largest hate community on the internet. If he leaves, hell will break loose for him. Yeah, but again, my take has always been the same on that, is that I think he should still leave. It will suck and it will hurt, right? But it's not like he's treated well. It's not like he's treated well there anyway. You know what I mean? Like half of the time there is defending how the chat hates him. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. It was not like besides like, the money he's getting paid from Ethan, like half the time is just like, no, chat, I'm not, like, you think I'm cozying up with the enemy. I'm not cozying up to the enemy, okay? Like I'm trying to give my perspective. And like of the people there, he does push back the most. Right? Again, still not good. I'm not like defending AB here. Like his role in this is complicity is still insane and it's bad. Right? But if Frogan thinks AB can be changed and can grow, who am I and who are y'all to be like, no, fuck him, I'm writing him off. You know what I mean? Like Frogan has dealt with more harassment in this situation than anybody else has. Right? She's closer to this situation than you ever will be. Right? So, again, I'm not saying you have to like AB, right? But I'm going to offer at least Frogan a level of charitability to allow her to at least do this outreach. You feel me? I think we're safe to write him off until we see different. I don't give a fuck what you do, chat. I'm gonna be real. Like I don't care. You are a chatter. I genuinely don't care. It doesn't matter. Like you can have whatever takes you want to have. I'm going to offer, Frogan the respect of allowing her to do this outreach without being like, how dare you? You know what I mean? How dare you do this? AB's lost or whatever.
You know what I mean? And I have nothing but love for AB and Lena, and I wish them the best. And maybe in the future we can be friends again, to be honest.
Before she moved out here, I remember us talking, and she was nervous about it. And I said,
like, keep in mind, like, he 100% can't not change. There's a very good chance where he just doesn't change. Where he huddles down next to Ethan and he keeps growing. We keep rocking. You know what I mean? But that's fine, right? That would be unsurprising, right? But maybe this video can be a wake up call for AB. Maybe this video can be like, man, maybe I'm not being a good friend, right, to somebody who I considered a friend to me. Or maybe it won't. Who knows? I don't freaking know. It's so embarrassing, though. Oh, you're totally correct. I do agree with you. It is embarrassing. It is 100%.
Day, you'll have me and Lena, like worst comes to worst, and then shit just hit the fucking fan.
Yeah.
Before.
And to those who are constantly defending me and having my back, I appreciate you and thank you so, so much. During a time like this, it feels like the damage has been done physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. But, after a year and a half of harassment, it feels very calming that people are actually finally on my side. It's been a nightmare for me. On a more positive note, here are some of my favorite pictures taken at the shoot of the Content Cop bit. Of course, I got to see Kaya. I love her to death. And
W.
here are
Kaya.
a couple pictures. To Ethan, if you're watching this for some reason, my message to you is that, you and I have different worldviews, and you and I have different ideas for what is the best way to help people. And, while I appreciate the spirit of your advocacy, I think it's misguided. After all of this, you've made my life hell. I will say that. You've made my life fucking hell. But at the end of the day, what I said at the end of the Content Cop still stands. I wish you the best.
Hey, maybe I should have made a video like this. W. Frogan. The whole staff are in an abusive relationship that was formerly paid with cash. They've burnt all the bridges that they don't even notice. I'm not against reaching out, but it's going to require professionals or rock bottom to get results. I agree with you, Cheddar. I do agree, right? I agree. Right, it's... I hope this video starts that process. He will ignore it. Not necessarily. This is a Denim's video? Oh, yeah, it's a Denim's Clips video. This guy is such a dick rider.
I tried to get him.
Let's see. Oh, he's actually grown though. Shout out him. Because of this video, I guess. He was at 2,000 subscribers before. Now he's at 6,000. Wait, he's watching a Destiny video?
Was I not?
Since my last Destiny.
Oh, Content Cop Destiny? Wait, is this an anti-Destiny video? Hold on, okay. Okay, wait. So, Willie Max Show is making an anti-Destiny video. And the Black Ethan Dick Rider is watching the anti-Destiny video from... This is like Marvel's Civil War of people who hate Hasan. of people who hate Hasan. You know, it ain't anti-Destiny. No, it did look relatively anti-Destiny.
The OnlyFans e-girl.
She sold nudes via Twitter. So it's not that we're trying to say
Like, it looks relatively like contentious of Destiny. Controlled opposition. Denims is awful. Oh, he talks to Destiny in here? Oh, never mind. Maybe not. What does Denims have to... Okay. I'm not watching it to find out. Today, Destiny comes out for an interview to answer questions regarding his legal case with Pixie. We also go back interview chat. We also go back oh, you missed the letter there, or the word there. You also go back to interview characters from his past. We uncover doxing, accusations, lies, also hear some threats. I hope this heals the pain from how terrible the Ida's Content H3 was. Okay.
Why was I not told that?
Bro, what? Bro, what? Things not about to go well for Frogan. Ethan Klein's official response to Content Cop H3 Part 1. Frogan continues to make things worse for herself. Ethan Klein added missing context from iDubbbz Content Cop. Ethan Klein's official response to Content Cop Part 2. Ethan Klein's official response to Content Cop H3 Part 3. I looked at the Content Cop Destiny. Ethan Klein's official response to the Content Cop H3 finale. Things only get worse for Soy Dubs and Hasan. Imagine being a smart YouTuber and your output is just slop. Like, that's all you do. Your output is just slop. It's only slop. He's a human algo farmer. I mean, it hits sometime, but like, you're not gonna get a bajillion views from doing 4 different parts of the Ethan Klein Content Cop. Like, legitimately, just a little bit of advice. If you just released the 6-hour response to all of it, like, it would have got more views. Instead of splitting it up to part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Anyway, we're getting off topic. We were doing a tier list on who would be the best to debate Ethan Klein, or the funniest. You know, just a number of different things. Like, who would be the best debater is what we're doing. And we'll do maybe Denims next. I'll put Denims in. I also forgot about the tier list. I'll put Denims in for the memes. Maybe not for the normies. One of these, right? Because I feel like after the debate is over, Ethan Klein would just be like, Denims called CPS on me. And then like normies are gonna be like, wow, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Even though like that's not the case. You feel me? Well, Denims with D for sure. I don't think Denims would lose a debate with Ethan. But yeah, I'd say not for the normies. Kaya's S tier debater. True. Next, she's very nice, but isn't the type to yell, whereas Ethan will yell. Yeah. Okay, I'll put Kaya where she belongs. That's right. Kaya belongs in S tier, master debater at the very top of the tier because like she is the best of the best. Easy, W, simple, nice. No other words needed. Stabby. I'll put Stavros in for the memes. Just for the memes. Because I would love to see it for the memes. Right? I don't think he'll go hard enough on Ethan to like, or be mean enough to Ethan to like destroy his career. Per se, but I think he'll riff. I think he'll meme. I think he'll go back and forth. Actually, one day that I'm relevant enough for a ton of like tier list. Oh, you'll be on here, Brett. Where would I put Brett? You know what? We'll get to Brett in a second. Go make E cry, but buy something. But for something completely unrelated, yeah. Okay, Norm Finkelstein. I'll put Norman, as I call him because we were friends. Honestly, it depends. I would say A tier if he treats Ethan like he treated Destiny, which I think he would, right? But the only problem is that I don't think Ethan would reciprocate. Go on Norm as a go. The problem is I don't think Ethan will give. See, the only reason why the Destiny interview worked so well, or the Destiny debate worked so well, is because Destiny is pompous, right? Destiny thinks that he's above it all. He thinks himself smart enough to be in the room. That's why it works so well, right? Ethan will know that he's not smart enough to debate Norman Finkelstein normally, right? And so I don't think he'll take the debate number one. I think he'll concede a lot of ground, right? And then he'll start talking about drama and start doing confusing techniques. And so I don't think the only reason why Norm's debate style works so well is because like he's very good at shutting people down once they are like on their high horse, and Ethan's not on his high horse, right? And so if Ethan Klein actually tried to debate him on Israel Palestine, it would be a master debater S tier debate easily. But like if they were ever put in the rooms together to debate, Ethan will talk about like CPS drama, and Norm will be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and that's all it will be. Trump sent boots on the ground in Yemen. Did he? Oh Lord. Here, I think it will be S tier because Ethan Tubers might get the better of him on stream. I don't think so. I'll put him knowledgeable and informative, but above Noah, and and above Sam. No, below Sam. Sam at least has Sam at least knows what YouTube is, right? Sam at least agrees with what knows what YouTube is. Norm will be caught off guard about this whole button concept in the first place. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't even know how to handle that. For Hasan, I'm gonna put Hasan in master debater tier, but only Hasan as of yesterday in S tier. Hasan from like a year and a half ago up until like maybe last month, I would put him in an A tier, or maybe even in the memes tier, right? But now that Hasan is at least more aware of what Ethan Klein has been saying and doing, like I think that he's very, very good content. W content tier. You know what I mean? But it's S because in his heart, he's the heart of the drama, has sufficient knowledge. Honestly, everyone wants this debate. Yes, but only because of Hasan now. Hasan, in the year where he didn't talk about Ethan at all and didn't engage with Ethan at all, I think he still would have given Ethan kitty gloves. He still would have conceded that Ethan's pro-Palestine. He didn't make Ethan cry with the kitty gloves. This is true. But now Hasan has lost charitability for Ethan. I think it's a lot more. I think it'll be a lot better of a discussion for sure. I predict Sam's debate will be Ethan pretending that he's pro-Palestine the entire time and Sam not being knowledgeable enough to hold Ethan to his previous statements or challenge liberal Zionism. Exactly. And that's why he's in this tier. I think his team and the Majority Report crew are going to try to get through to Sam exactly what Ethan's positions are, but Ethan will just lie about them, right? I think Sam is nice and charitable enough to give Ethan the benefit of the doubt. So if his crew tells him that Ethan Klein is not pro-Palestine, Sam will go to the discussion, but Ethan Klein will say that he is pro-Palestine, And Sam will argue on that basis as opposed to pushing back saying, no, you're not. Right? Unless Ethan Klein tips his hand in that discussion, right? Sam will only argue based upon what he saw in that discussion. I mean, Sam is familiar enough with liberal Zionism to see through it, but also he's very charitable. Yeah, I think that he is familiar enough with liberal Zionism to see through it, but the problem is, like, is he familiar enough with Ethan Klein to know that, like, Ethan Klein is not being genuine when he say that he is pro-Palestine and people are only mad at him because he wants all Israelis to live or whatever? I don't know if that's the case. You know what I mean? For Twitch chat would not for the normies. Honestly, I would put Twitch chat in not for the normies. I don't think Twitch chat will lose the debate with Ethan Klein. Right? I think chat will be mean enough where it's like he'll like just disengage. But like I think that like normies will see what Twitch chat is saying and be like, okay, that's a bit far. So I would just be trying to make him cry. Exactly. I know. It's not that Sam isn't familiar with liberal Zionism, it's that he might not be familiar with Ethan's liberal Zionism. Exactly. And Sam is more willing to like take Ethan at face value and argue in good faith, as opposed to assume that Ethan is like doing liberal Zionism and is doing like pseudo Israel defense by saying, I support the Palestinian cause, but I just don't like anti-Semitism. You know what I mean? And I think that like Denims is anti-Semitic. Like, is Sam Seder familiar enough with Frogan and Denims to know that Frogan and Denims is not are not anti-Semitic? I don't know. Right? Once you start leaning it more into like the internet drama, Sam may not be familiar enough to know exactly what he's talking about. You know what I mean? To be fair, I think if the debate was held in a neutral setting with a clear objective, it might limit Ethan's ability to pull from the drama to debate the genocide, but it won't be. And we know that it won't be. Here, I'll do Chris first. I'll put Chris, I think, will fall kind of where I put Noah. Was thinking, I don't know if I should drop Noah down to for the memes, but like what applies to Noah also applies to Chris. The only issue is that Chris has a smaller audience, which means less baggage for normies to latch onto, which is why he's not in for the normies. But if Ethan Klein can control the setting, he may be like out-dramaed, right? Because like Chris will be expected to argue on the behalf of Hasan to Ethan and defend like Hasan's behavior. And it may just be easier for him to just be like, I don't care about Hasan, or like, you know, like I don't think he'll get into like the weeds of that. But like again, Ethan may just like forcibly talk about drama, as opposed to talking about Israel Palestine, which I don't know. I don't know. But I think he's knowledgeable enough to have a good discussion about it if it is about Israel Palestine. Ow. And I'll put Emma in knowledgeable and informative, but maybe above Sam Seder because she's more in tune with the drama. But she doesn't have the identity buff that Sam Seder does and Norm Finkelstein does. But I think she's more aware of like the rhetorical tactics that like Ethan will use to try to shift away from the topic of discussion. She's angrier too. True. A lot less nice. A lot less charitable. But I don't think she has the same like liberal, you know, soft liberal buff that Sam has for like the normie audience. That like Sam got from like the Jubilee appearance. You know what I mean? And so I don't know what's better. So they're pretty even in my personal opinion. They both have their own pros and cons, but either of them will we'll get the job done, you know? Also, friend of the show. A lot of these are friends of the show. A lot of people follow me on Twitter. I feel like Felix is for the memes. Not that like Felix is like unknowledgeable or not informative, but like just I want to see it for the memes, honestly. It would be a funny meme to see Felix debate Ethan Klein. I don't think it would be remotely productive, right? But it would be funny to see. It would be funny to see. I think Sam is still +1 for Hasan's reasoning. It'd be the funniest out of all of these. Nah, I think Bill Burr would be funnier. I think Bill Burr would be funnier. I think I put Adam in the same the same vein. Like the comedians that like Ethan respects. Like I feel like Ethan respects Bill Burr more than he does these three, which is why they're here. But like, I feel like it would still be funny for the memes. And Bill Burr actually dogging on him will like actually, you know, affect his soul. It'll hit him right where it hurts. Right? He can laugh these off, but this will hurt him. Because he still talks about Bill Burr. Savvy Bill Burr tag team, that would be funny. Dan would agree with Ethan. This isn't surprising. Dan would agree with Ethan. I'd put Nandre and not for the normies, but above Twitch chat. Like I don't think normies know who Nandre is. Nandre might lose. Nandre's interesting because I think Nandre would try to reach out to Ethan also from like an identity point of view. Right? Growing up Jewish, getting the Jewish perspective and like try to do like an olive branch to Ethan. And Ethan doesn't want anything. Ethan doesn't care. He has no, you know what I mean? Like no thought process behind his insane behavior. But I think that like Nandre will do a decent job, but just like maybe not good enough to like get over like the normie hump of like people not knowing who Nandre is. So I don't think it would be productive. Not because he's done or anything. I just don't trust his ability to debunk Nakba denialism talking points, for example. No, I think Nandre can do decently well in that regard. But yeah, maybe not like as far as Ethan would go. For Mark Lamont Hill with his face cut off, that would be fine, and it would be funny. But the only issue is I don't know how well it would stick to normie audiences. Somebody who doesn't have like the name recognition, right? It may not be persuasive to normie audiences, right? And so like Ethan Klein can just go back to like his own hug box and talk about how like Nandre is stupid or whatever. And then like Nandre wouldn't have any way to combat that because nobody is going to go to Nandre's stream to figure out what he's saying. You feel me? That's the only issue. No one in the would lose category is killing me. Nandre has a smoke for Hotspur, but not enough clout for the points to stick. Exactly. I don't think he will lose to Ethan, right? But I don't think normies are gonna go figure out what he's saying after like for post stream analysis. I think the majority report has a large enough audience where like if Sam goes on the stream, if Sam goes live on the majority report the next day, people are gonna tune in to be like, what did he think about the debate? Let's hear what he has to say about it. And I think that because like Nandre and even Denims are small enough that like people can just be like excuse away the fact that you know they were on the debate and just be like, oh, like who are they? You know what I mean? They're irrelevant. Is that two Hasans? No, this is Kaya. Kaya is in S tier. Whereas Northern on the list, I don't know. Chat just send it. I think Mark Lamont Hill, I'll put in knowledgeable and informative, but again, same with Norm Finkelstein. I don't think he's knows enough about like the situation to like combat Ethan Klein bringing up just drama stuff. You know what I mean? Like with anybody who is knowledgeable, Ethan Klein can just bring up the drama and get them to agree with him on that. He'd be like, wouldn't you agree that calling CPS on a family, an innocent family, is bad? And Mark, who has no knowledge of the situation, he'd be like, yeah, that's not good. Like, what if I told you somebody called CPS on my family and I didn't do anything wrong? And then he can get like, you know, the not chronically online people to just agree with him on that. You ever seen Francisco Albanese discuss Israel Palestine? You're missing out because she handles lawyers, journalists, and politicians with ease. Ian, side up to Ian. Why is Mark on Hill on Joe Buffett's podcast? Joe Buffett? Joe Budden? Ian? I'll put Ian in for the memes. Honestly, I'll put Ian in the top of for the memes. Just because I think it'll be funny. I don't even think I need to explain that one. Northern Lion? I don't even know. Not for the normies, I guess. Maybe for the memes of it, could be funny. Norman Mark should be either 1 or 2, knowledgeable and informative. No, I think you're incorrect. They just don't know enough about the drama. They are the most knowledgeable and informative people in the category, but they don't know enough about the drama and the internet side of it, where I think they could get lost in the sauce if Ethan Klein is able to guide the conversation away from Israel-Palestine. Like if they were just put in a room with Ethan Klein and they were like, debate Ethan, and Ethan's like, you know, we're gonna talk about Hasan and Denham's calling CPS on me. Like, they're not gonna know that Ethan Klein is a liberal Zionist. They're not gonna know that Ethan Klein defends Israel's genocide, right? It's on Ethan's terms. They're kind of just gonna have to go with whatever Ethan Klein says because they don't know about like what he's actually been like, talking about. You know what I mean? Norm not let him get away with it, but Norm has to know that what he's talking about though. Like Norm has to know that the conversation is going to be about Ethan Klein defending genocide, right? And like, I don't think that he's knowledgeable enough to know like what Ethan Klein does or says. You know? I think even Sam would be like, who called CPS on you? Yeah. Norman's heard more Zionist self-victimization than anyone. He'd recognize it instinctively. I mean, maybe. Right? I mean, maybe. I think it's Norman having an aneurysm if he talks to Ethan. True. He asked for more details, and their accusation would be obvious speculation. Sam would call that out being irrelevant, though. Maybe. Right? Again, we're banking on the idea that they are given some level of knowledge about the debate beforehand, right? That it's going to be a debate on Israel-Palestine. And if Ethan is able to guide the conversation, again, this is going to be taking place on, if this was like on Lex Friedman's podcast or whatever, and it was like Ethan Klein instead of Destiny there, then sure, right? But this is a conversation on Ethan's terms where he's talking to and conversing with the person beforehand, right? Where he gets to tell them what like the conversation is about. I can see a world where like Ethan is able to put on the what's it called? Remember the clip where he goes off and crying Jewish students? He has zero chill for Zionists. Again, we're under the assumption that like Norm is given the correct context of what's going on here. He doesn't know Ethan Klein, right? So if Ethan Klein tells him that I'm not a Zionist, right? People assume I'm a Zionist because, I like live in Israel or whatever. Like Norm may call that out, yes. Or maybe Ethan is able to like adequately hide his power level of what he actually believes. Who knows what liberal Zionism is and how they sound, though? Maybe. Having dual citizen married to a war criminal. I mean, he obviously won't bring that up. You feel me? Maybe. Right? The problem is, like, the conversation wouldn't happen in the first place. Because, like, they would have nothing to talk about. Right? Ethan would not talk to these people about Israel-Palestine. Any of them. He would talk to them about drama. That's it. And so at best, nothing would happen with Norm or really most people who are in the knowledgeable and informative category. At best, nothing would happen. Right? Because Ethan's not going to bring up Israel-Palestine to these people in the first place. He's going to try to debate them on why Denims is bad and why Frogan is mean to him and things of that nature. Right? And if they don't bite that, the debate will end. Right? He'll be like, this isn't productive in the debate. Right? I feel like with these people, with Matt Leib and Hasan, he would try to debate things like the actual like historical, analysis, and he would lose. He wouldn't even try that with these people, which is why they're here in the first place. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to put Bada Banana in for the memes. Above Noah Sampson. I think he is knowledgeable and informative, but I think it'll be funny. Like I would rather see this debate on the merits of just being hilarious as opposed to like actually trying to like take down Ethan Klein's like liberal Zionism. You know what I mean? Which I think Bada Banana would do, and I think he would do it well. But like, I think it'll move away from a little bit Israel-Palestine and a little bit more into like, this is your behavior and this is why your behavior is bad and this is what you do, right? And so honestly, maybe it would fall more into like a master debater because like, it would just be like a takedown of Ethan Klein. But I don't think it will be productive, which is why it's more for the memes a little bit. Probably above Ian a little bit for the memes. Where'd you put yourself, as in how you think normies would perceive you? I'd be not for the normies, I'd probably say. I mean, we can put myself here. Here, using this picture. I put myself in not for the normies. Above Twitch chat. Below an Andre. Ian has an easy out against Bada Banana because he would call him an harasser and beg on the audience not looking into anything. And assuming Bada Banana is crazy because of his appearance and uncompromising attitude. Yeah. Yeah. Think you're better than us? 100%. 100%. I think I would be better than you at a discussion. You know what? I think I'll be better than Denims too. I'll say it. I put myself above Denims, below an Andre. Actually, you know what? I put myself above an Andre. I'll say it. Still not for the normies though. You need someone who would lose? How about Steiny? Steiny would agree with Ethan. Who do I think would lose? Not many people. AB. I think AB would lose. Frogan, I mean, Frogan's gonna be the same place as we are, just not for the normies, right? I would say not for the normies below Denims, just because like Frogan, because she's a hijabi Muslim woman, gets a lot of hate and harassment because of it. Her new video was great. Yeah, we watched it. He's worth about another guy. I only recently got involved due to the IDOS, but that guy doesn't seem like someone to support. What do you mean? LeBron? Sure. Esther. Dean Withers? Dean would lose. Okay, that's a good one. Dean Withers would lose the debate. Like, legitimately, Dean would lose. I'm not joking about this. He would lose. He would agree with Ethan on the drama stuff, and I don't think he's knowledgeable enough on Israel Palestine to actually push back. He would lose. Ethan would say, well, what about this? And he would say, like, yeah, that sounds bad. 100%. The Hunter guy? What Hunter guy? I just see some problematic statements. I enjoy you, to be clear. I do think Beta Banana is insane. I don't know what statements you've seen, because there are things out there that I don't think are true. But there are things that he's done and said that are like a bit wild. But I think he does a good job documenting the historical context behind why Israel is committing a genocide and why that is a bad thing. Anthony Sargon, do not worry. I think Anthony Sargon falls into the not for the normies. Above Denims, below Nandre. Liver King? I don't even think Liver King would be on it. Maybe Liver King would lose. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Could me and Coach at least be A tier? Twitch, you're a Twitch chatter. You're technically here. His wife? Okay, I can't even put her in would lose because she would win the debate. But she would just agree with Ethan. But also she would win. You should thought you were in his recent video though? Wait, which recent video? Who did? How dare? How dare? Trisha? Honestly, on a Israel-Palestine debate, I mean, not Israel, for the memes. North Star Radio. Not for the normies, but above Nandre. Bad Empanada? Oh. Well, what did he say? I don't watch Bad Empanada videos, if you can tell. He said y'all are Zionists? Okay. Wait, why? What did he say that makes me a Zionist? And I'm curious. Everyone's a Zionist to perfect Bad Banana. I mean, yeah, which is why I don't. You had nice things to say about Ethan in the. Oh, was there nothing about Ethan? Okay. It's a drama video. He was mad about the compliments. All right. He kind of called you out along with people participating saying nice thing about Ethan and said it was stupid. Okay. Keep Mode off the list. Nah. Osmond would lose, actually. We're too nice to Ethan, I think. Sure. Your statement was not referring to his Zionism, though. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I mean, I was pretty specific about my statement, and that I think him taking or starting that journey to leave the anti-SJW pipeline is a good thing, and that it's not an easy thing to do. That implies that he doesn't want genocide to occur. No, it doesn't. It just implies that like he would not win in a debate against Ethan. If he were to debate Ethan, I would lose. He would either agree with Ethan or he would be like, I don't know anything about that. That was an accurate statement. Yeah, which is why I'm not gonna like, you know, I don't care about Bad Empanada. That's my take. I don't care. I do not care. That's my take. Bad Empanada thinks that y'all and Hasan and everyone technically speaking leaves too much room for moderates. He thinks that if you try to leave room for progressives to shift, then you are implicitly massaging the anti-Zionist platforms to be less combative. I agree, but I think that it's a legitimate line of critique to leave open. But I don't, though. Bad Bananas, he's right. He's right. When he's funny, he's funny. When he's wrong, he's loud and annoying and easy to ignore. This is true. That's right. Yeah. He said we have positive vibes to Ethan. Positive vibes. Like we're doing vibes politics at this point. Okay. I think calling out Zionists is too far. I don't care, chat. And you shouldn't care either. Honestly. That's my take. I don't care. And you should not get angry on my behalf. The entire video was him misunderstanding opposition was hilarious. I don't care. I don't. Don't worry, Sean will defend your honor. I will not be parasocial and defend you. But I like being mad about things. Basically bad about things that you don't crush him like the Nazi he is. Okay. What would we say? I have no thoughts about that. If he thinks that I'm too nice to Ethan, sure. Sure. I genuinely don't care. At least he mentioned you. Nah, I don't care. Bit about his new age Norm Finkelstein. He's great on specific topics, but he's unhinged weirdo about everything else. Not even I think on specific topics, he'll also be like, you know, a bit on the unhinged side. Which again, I think there's a usefulness to like somebody who's unyieldingly like, you know, insane. These kind of mischaracterizations, I don't agree with Bana Banata. His critique is coming from a theoretical, rigorous perspective, like a Maoist third worldist saying that all of the empirical workers are complicit and not allies. Yeah. But it again, I don't yell at those Maoist third worldists either. You know what I mean? They're on the right side, even if they're kind of stupid, by yelling at like the Starbucks barista as being complicit in, you know, the atrocities to, you know, harvest the beans themselves. Like it's a dumb conversation. You can't have Photoshop open and play the I don't know who this person's card is. Thank you. Exactly. I agree. That is correct. You can't open Photoshop and crop out my face and be like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? True. Which is why you should like this tweet, chat. Yeah. Like honestly, I think my position is the correct position. And when the search just court treated you, it literally was just open. Right? But like I don't think you should put too much stock in what Bad Empanada says. Pro or against Ethan. Or against Ethan's haters either. Like I think you should take what is useful from his knowledge right? And craft your own positions and come to your own conclusions in the same way you should do for everybody. Like, for me as well, you know? You shouldn't put too much stock into the things that I say. You should take the words that I say and come to your own conclusions from them, right? Along with all the information you're getting, right? And then use that to guide your behavior. Like that one chatter in here that I timed out, who didn't actually come back in here. I wonder if they're still following. I'm curious. Because sometimes I time somebody out for being a bit too, you know, just a bit too aggro, and then they just leave and never come back. They didn't come back. Still following though? Yeah, they didn't come back. I don't know, maybe they'll come back later. Or maybe they won't. Who knows? I don't know. The guy from 2 months ago ever do his homework? No. I agree, Badamana is not worth arguing with when it comes to wanting him to concede that other positions and strategies are valid. He's not an enemy though, yeah. Right. My only take is just like on Bad Up and Out of Defenders is just chill out. That's it. Be normal. Chill out and be normal. Like you can like Bad Up and Out, I don't care. But like you don't have to like demand everybody else like him either. You must love Bada Banana. You must love him. You just don't get his humor. You don't understand his humor. Like, just be a normal person, please. That's all I'm asking. He doesn't think writers for real. I like that's fair. You know, I have people who enjoy my content above everybody else's content. People who enjoy Grandma's content over everybody else's content. People have their favorite content creators, right? But like, I don't expect people to always like the people that I like, right? If they have bad politics or whatever, then I'll not like them, obviously. But like, it's okay if a creator that I like doesn't like another creator that I like. They don't have to be best friends. I'm not gonna make them kiss and make up. You know what I mean? And so you can enjoy me and enjoy Hasan and enjoy Bad Empanada and have a diversity of tactics that you enjoy without all of us being best friends. That's okay. You're like, wasn't that part of Ian's video? Yes. Yeah, them loser. Thanks, chatter. I appreciate that. Oh, gosh darn it. Stop. Don't at least let us have a little bit of fun. /unban the Kleinsman. There you go. You're unbanned, chatter. I watch a lot of people, some of them not with each other that I don't agree with everyone 100%. It's culty to have to want perfect alignment. Yeah. I wanted to play with my food. But that is a little too left punchy for me, to be honest. Well, he thinks he's punching right. So that's where it comes from. Right? He doesn't think he's punching left. He thinks that he is the left and he's punching people to the right. Right? I think there are some critiques that he makes that I think are valid. Some of them are unproductive, but you know, I can understand, and some of them I think are not valid, but you know, it is what it is. That's my take. Here, where's the speak clip at? We've already seen this before. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is an old speed clip.
Shut up. When are you coming to Israel? For fuck's sake.
When I'm coming to Israel?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we can answer that question.
Wait, this is not an old clip actually. This is kind of new, I think. Not like super new, but like not as old as I thought it was gonna be.
That question. Automatically.
Why? Why?
Oh, you know why.
I don't know why. I'm not sure why. A long time ago, you promised to come to Israel. Before the World Cup. Like, bruh, what the fuck happened?
What happened?
Yes.
Palestinians, what happened?
Yeah, I knew it.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
That's funny. Also, like, just that respect. You know what I mean? Respect. Add Speed to the tier list. I mean, Speed's just gonna go into for the memes. You know what I mean? Actually, you know what? I take that back. Actually, I disagree with myself. Speed. Oh, that. Okay. Would go in Master Debater. Above LeBron James, obviously. He would just, as soon as he realized that Ethan Klein is defending Israel, he would just start yelling at him. He's loud, confident, and very well liked. He would do okay. Yeah. A Speed is serious about Palestine. He would yell a lot, but he is serious. Yeah. And so he would like, to the point where like he would not engage with. Speed is so strictly and staunchly pro-Palestine that he wouldn't engage with anything. He wouldn't try to understand or know why Ethan believes what he believes. He won't try to understand, like, you know, why Ethan is like defending the genocide. He'll just be like, oh, you're defending Israel. Now, we don't like Israel around here. And he would just unflinchingly just start yelling at him. Even will try to be like, okay, what about the drama with Hasan? He'd be like, you defend Israel. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. And that's what it'll do. I think Ethan would have no idea what he would do. I don't think Noah would be for the memes, given his videos would be informative. We moved Noah down because I think just in, like, for a debate setting, I don't know how well he would do in a debate. And chat saying that he's not the best debater. This is just how well they would do in the debate conversation. A minute or two into the stream, the button is getting clicked. True. But yeah, I'll put Connery's pants in. Ethan Klein on a Fortnite Friday. Actually, you know what? Connery's pants goes into Master Debater as well. Just because on a Fortnite Friday, Connor would cook him. Because Ethan would not be prepared. Ethan would not be prepared. Yeah, the storm, Ethan, the storm. He'll be like, now, some people would say that your hyperfixation and focus on these Israeli civilians over the Palestinian population during the genocide in Gaza is actually you running pseudo defense for Israel and not at all prioritizing the genocide itself. The storm, Ethan, watch out, the storm. You're getting shot at. The storm. That would be funny. We were D go because he cannot be contentious. He would agree with Ethan. That would be funny. That would be so funny. You know, I'd be exactly like that if I was talking to somebody playing Fortnite with him. If they would lose a debate against his reflection. Oh, what about, okay, let's see. Old Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein would lose a debate to old him. What? Okay. This is like an AI article probably, but was YouTuber Ethan Klein arrested after posting drug-fueled rant video? What we know. Viral social media posts claim that YouTuber Ethan Klein was arrested after a video allegedly showing a drug-fueled breakdown. However, the authorities in Bel Air, California have not confirmed any arrests. The video, widely circulating online, garnered millions of views amid growing speculation. And the video is this video, I guess.
Her. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw.
It's the Boston Bomber video. 5 million views. 5 million views, bro. Breaking Ethan Klein has been arrested following publication of a video where he appears to be in the throes of a drug-fueled psychotic break. Yeah, it's the Boston Bomber video. That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay. Here, Ethan would lose a debate to his old self. That's what my take is. He would lose a debate to his older self. The AI article made about this tweet is the best thing AI could have ever done. Yeah. All right, I do have to go. I have a meeting soon. But yeah, this is the list. Ethan Klein debate champion tier list. I don't know if you, even though you yelled at me, probably deserved it, honestly. You know where this goes, chat? Right to Twitter. Bow, 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 bow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know you love me. You know you care. So shout whenever. When are you there? This is garbage covers. I come to rejoicing. People clown on you. I have to come to the source. Chatter. I want you to take a little gander at my viewership number real quick. Just a little look-sees. A little look-sees. And how it's double what it was before. And I want to say thank you. I appreciate that. You are paying my bills. You know you love me. You know you care. So shout whenever, but I'll be there. You are my love. You are my heart. And I will never. You are. I don't know those are the words. Objective Ethan Klein debate champion tier list. Oh, kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Screen so small I can't see. Is the Finkel guy on there? Yes, the Finkel guy is on here. It's Kaya, Matt Lieb, Bill Burr. I'm not reading all these. You can see it on my Twitter. Post. You know the vibes, chat. You know the vibes. Do the thing. And while you do the thing, I gotta go. So, also shout out YouTube chat. I don't know if I missed if any YouTube chat was saying anything interesting. That was a bit low compared to most YouTube streams. Love the content though. Yeah. My beauty's crazy. I watch her from the crowd. Her voice is you wrote tier list. That's probably wrong. Gosh darn it. I did spell it wrong. Right click. Copy. Wait. Discard. Boom. Did Chad want to go to Ethan's dog? Hey, you can't say that. You know that's unacceptable, chat. It's unacceptable. Anyway, oh, here, I can turn myself down, which means I can talk louder to be able to hear myself, which means my volume should go up. But yeah,